Yeah, man. Hey now.
Hey.
There it is. Yes. We're here.
Dude, I was laughing so hard that cover page. Great. You're killing it with the AI.
No, thank you, sir. You know, AI getting a lot of heat these days. People are booing AI at the college campus. You know, apparently Gen Z, everybody hating on the AI. Look at this millennial over here. Embracing the AI, man. I'm all about it.
Just like every technology before. You can embrace it or you can stay in the past. But the alien thing, dude, it's so funny because I was on YouTube yesterday.
Yeah, man.
Like, you know, look, scrolling through videos, and randomly it just popped up Neil deGrasse Tyson.
Yes, dude.
The take on the UFO files, and like, dude, it had like no views, and it had way more than ours. I'll give him credit for
way
that.
more than the Daily Wire, right? We can all assume that at this point.
Yes, it was like tens of thousands. You know what I mean?
More than the Daily Wire. All right, man.
Yeah, but I was just like, that's how you know we're a nation that's healing, right? And then I was thinking about it because, like, I haven't heard Neil deGrasse Tyson anything. Everybody just like he gave a couple crazy ass like speeches on transgender, and then everybody just kind of was like, "Oh, you're crazy,"
right?
And stopped listening to him.
Absolutely,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, man.
It really makes you think, like, the difference between the left and the right cancellation. Like, when you're Neil deGrasse Tyson, there is no, like, media campaign. There's no social media campaign. We need to abandon this guy. Don't ever listen. You know what I mean? There is no, he's a bigot. He's a this. No, that's just kind of like, oh, yeah, boys could be girls. Oh, there's no difference in sports. No, that's great, Neil. That's great. And then nobody listens to him again.
Right, yes.
That's the cancellation, right? Like,
right.
Nothing needs to be said, you know?
Exactly. Yeah.
But the left cancellation is, we're going to do this whole thing. We're just going to be the loudest opposition in the world to you for 6 months. And then you're going to be more famous and more rich than ever before. Tony Hinchcliffe, Shane Gillis, Louis C.K.
Shane Gillis had a phenomenal rebuttal to Chelsea Handler going on all these podcasts now, ranting and raving about Shane Gillis and Tony Hinchcliffe being white supremacists and racist and all this stuff. And Shane Gillis said, congratulations to Chelsea. She's having a moment and she's capitalizing on it. And we're all very happy for her. It's like
a good job.
Spot on, dude. That's the reaction of a real comedian versus whatever Chelsea Handler is now, right?
To be fair, I mean, like, Tony Hinchcliffe is virtually bulletproof because if you watch his show is all about meritocracy. Like, there's literally retarded handicapped people who come on there with the funniest jokes and they become regulars.
Totally.
You know what I'm saying?
Well,
like,
this week on Adam Carolla show, he interviewed Timmy Two Time or
Timmy No Breaks.
Timmy No Breaks. Who skyrocketed to fame because of his appearance on Kill Tony. The dude's very funny. He just did a weekend here at the Denver South Comedy Works.
Oh, no way.
He had 3 nights, man. Yeah, very funny
once
guy.
You make it on that show,
absolutely.
You made it. Yeah.
But then his interview this week was really fantastic, actually. It was really fun. I love when Adam has comedians on there and they kind of dissect comedy and what it
Especially
takes.
Like the younger ones.
Man.
It's kind of like the old guy, like, you know.
Absolutely, dude.
Yeah, it's good stuff. Yeah, that was a good show.
It's funny they're still riding this wave of the other side are white supremacists or they're Nazis or racists. Like,
it's not working, though. It's not working, though.
We've talked about this a long time ago, which is you turned racist into a nothing burger word. Now everyone's racist, so no one's racist. Then you unfortunately did that with Nazi and Hitler and white supremacist, and now all these words that you just blanket cover for everybody on one side of the political aisle. You basically eliminate the true meaning or the power of that word. So I look forward to the left calling everyone on the right the N-word. That'll be a great moment in our history where we can just totally wash away the N-word.
Well, dude, I was listening to I think it was Pod Save America, and who was it? some podcasters said something about how the Democrats were the party. It was like Dave Rubin or something, like the party of slaves, and how they fought for segregation, and how they were actually the ones that fought for slavery.
Right.
You know?
Yes.
And then I was thinking, I was like, yeah, you know what? Because even the left, like, openly admit they're like, well, Democrats, yeah, they were for slavery, but they changed it changed. Now they're not the racist ones, right? And then you're like, yeah, but they're socialists. Yeah, but the Nazis were a socialist movement. No, Frank, that was the 40s. Frank, we changed now. It's changed now. It's totally reversed now, right?
That's what I'm told.
I'm starting to think you guys haven't changed, is my point. You know what I mean? There's all these things where, like, they were against the Jews and everything.
Right.
It was like, no, that was then. But now you're also the party that's for Hamas.
You're literally wearing the kafifas. I don't think.
You guys keep saying you're the party that changed, right? You're the party that is all for democracy.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. I thought you're all about democracy, and the other side is the Nazis, except you guys now are pushing the Democratic long shot in Maine, Graham Plattner, the 41-year-old Marine veteran. Mike, you're not familiar with this guy, the oyster farmer who just happens to have a Nazi tattoo on his chest.
I was about to say the Nazi tattoo.
This is the Nazi tattoo guy. Yes, yeah, man, exactly.
Like, they're like, no, Frank, but he was a young 48-year-old man. He got it covered up. He got it covered up a month before he decided to run for office. Don't worry.
Give me one guy on the right with a Nazi tattoo. Let's start right there. Okay, if you keep calling everyone on the right Nazis, give me one guy with the Nazi tattoo. That's all I'm asking for.
Or one thing you support that isn't the Nazis. Because then you also look at, like, the Ukraine war. Oh yeah, that was a brigade of Nazis, but Frank, they changed once they invented I'm starting to think you guys didn't change. I don't know.
You seem to be down with Nazis on some level. Or white supremacy. We'll just leave it at that. Look, and my point being is, let's leave it to one metric, okay? Who has a tattoo for the Nazis?
Right.
You guys do, so we'll say you're the Nazis, the white supremacists, the racists.
Frank, us Democrats, we're not for white supremacy. We actually think the worst thing that could be president is an old white man. Oh, what's that? We just put up Joe Biden and then tried to shove him down your throat again. And he was literally friends with the KKK. I'm starting to think you guys haven't changed.
Absolutely, bro. Dude, seriously. And what's so funny about all of this is this week they had a DNC autopsy report come out. Did you see?
They refused to release
for months? Yes, dude.
Oh no! Like 2 weeks ago, the PodSave guy, not the real flamboyant one, the other John.
Right. Yeah.
Like
the less gay John. Right.
Yeah. The normal John. He sat down with that guy and he actually, like, grilled him for like an hour.
Ken Martin, the DNC chair you're talking about.
Yeah, and it was to the point where I was just like, I couldn't even. I was like, just give it up. The guy's not going to give it to you. But
right.
He would not explain why he's not releasing it.
Well, he released it. And
they did release it.
Yeah, it's not good.
I missed it.
And so the dude, DNC chair Ken Martin finally released it, and they're all so the DNC had this long-awaited 192-page autopsy on the 2024 election, and DNC chair Ken Martin shelved it initially, and the picture painted by this whole breakdown is just a party in complete disarray and decline. They are losing ground with working class voters, men, very specifically men of all ages, actually.
And races.
And races. They're all men they're losing. And in general, rural America. And they have been on this pace for over a decade, essentially. They're saying they've done nothing since Obama as a party, basically, and from a messaging standpoint. It criticizes heavily the heavy and immense spending that failed to deliver during 2024. Famously, I believe Kamala spent $2 billion on hair and makeup and doing podcasts, if I'm not mistaken.
And Nicki Minaj.
It was record-breaking money that was spent on this campaign.
Well, the worst part that came out of that was you realized she bought every endorsement.
Yes.
Like, Kid Rock endorsed Trump and then performed at his shit for free.
That's right.
But maybe even donated to the campaign, right?
Yes.
Kamala Harris was buying Oprah.
Yeah. She bought all that time, the Call Her Daddy podcast that she did.
Yeah.
So they're saying they failed to deliver on any effective messaging, and they focused too much on Trump. That's what came out in this report. And that they don't have a clear positive vision for the future, which you and I we've been saying for years now, which is your whole thing is fuck Trump. You give me an idea that you're running on, one idea, because Trump he wants to close the border, which he did, right? He shrunk down taxes, which he did. He did the no tax on the overtime and the tips, which he did.
He wants to invade the Middle East, which he did.
Which every president wants to do, apparently. So,
God.
Because of this, there's growing calls in the DNC for this guy, Ken Martin, to step down. And not only because the report itself is very damning towards the Democratic Party, but they're saying he flubbed the whole thing by burying it, which caused all this controversy and buildup.
Yeah,
so,
the Barbara Streisand
effect, essentially. So, the draft autopsy largely blamed Biden loyalists for not properly supporting Kamala Harris after Biden dropped out. And it says the White House failed to boost her image over the 3.5 years and didn't effectively counter the quote-unquote border czar narrative being pushed by the right wing of the country.
So it's everybody else's fault, not Kamala's.
That's right,
for just being unlikable. Here's my problem.
Exactly.
Right? Here's the problem, right? I would buy any of those excuses if you were like, because look, she's about to win the governor race in California. It's a blowaway, you know what I mean? There's but where is she now?
Well, she's doing tours, right? Doesn't she have that book that came out?
But your political career is over. You were the DEI vice president, and then you literally can't get a job after that.
Yes, dude.
So then you're good. Maybe you weren't a good candidate, right?
Well, she never won an actual primary vote. We've covered this quite a bit.
She never got a vote outside of California.
Right. Yeah. No, she's not popular. She was not likable. And I have a hard time believing the actual final numbers from 2024 simply because what's today? They're still counting votes, I believe, for the 2024 election as we speak right now, if I'm not mistaken.
We never talked about it on here. Spencer Pratt did that Joe Rogan interview.
Right on. Was this recently? I actually didn't.
No, this is the best part.
Okay.
So it was Spencer Pratt is running for mayor of LA as a Republican, but one of the funniest things is the Joe Rogan episode. It came out like 4 weeks ago. And there's a part in it where he was like, yeah, that's why I really need everybody to go out on whatever day and vote. He's like, and if you have your ballot already, just let's vote early. And all I can think is like, you already have your ballots?
Yeah, what, dude? Too early, man.
Too early. It's too early.
Anything before the day of is too early in my book. Here in Colorado, I think we're already casting ballots for 2028, if I'm not mistaken, actually.
No, show up the day of and vote.
Yeah. No,
it's crazy.
And that's why I kind of hinted at it last week, but I really do believe, for some weird reason, Republicans not too concerned about the midterms here, or 2028 for that matter. I think they know that they're going to put the kibosh on the mail-in voting, which is the one way that Democrats are stealing these elections across the country, but especially in these blue districts and blue states, man. Without a doubt. But it's funny that this autopsy came out, and then this week, simultaneously, along with it, there was an article from Vanity Fair that basically kind of said, I think the title was, "Who Wants Kamala Harris to Run?" And you asked what she's up to, Mike. Vanity Fair has reported Kamala Harris seriously considering another run for president and has been on this is what they're calling it, a quote-unquote listening tour.
Oh, God.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh, God.
Kamala's listening tour is going on right now. She's traveling the country listening to the folks out there.
She's listening to everybody except hearing the one important thing. Nobody likes you. No! It's the only thing you're not listening to.
There is widespread dread reportedly among many Democratic operatives, donors, and insiders. More than 2 dozen sources told the magazine there's little enthusiasm for her candidacy, with many saying outright, quote unquote, no to donating to her campaign in 2028, dude.
Of course.
It ain't happening. It ain't happening. I think we're going to see a Buttigieg ticket. That's what's going to happen, right?
He's got the
growing
beard
the mustache and the beard.
Yeah.
He's trimming the beard and hedging towards the mustache now. So
he's going for that macho look, you know?
Yeah, man, absolutely. I think it could work for him.
It would suck for him if he really wasn't gay. Because now it would actually help you to be straight. You know what I mean?
I don't think the gay thing ever really worked to begin with. I mean, look at Jared Polis out here in Colorado, gay libertarian. Yeah. That didn't really work out. He's going to be done here this year. And for like 5 seconds, he was entertaining, I think, a run for the White House. But now you could tell all the Democratic people out there, all the insiders, all the James Carvilles out there, they're saying, no. We got to bring in a white guy, old white guy to secure the lock on the nomination. Probably Pritzker, right?
Dude, speaking of Buttigieg, though, we got to put the motherfucker on blast. We gave Pete Buttigieg so much shit about the 2-month vacation, right?
Yes.
Sean Duffy.
Who?
Took 7 months off. I gotta become the transportation. I'm working way too hard.
I agree, dude.
The transportation secretary. Please, somebody make me transportation sec.
We're being abused. There's no doubt about it, considering these guys not working at all. Right?
Apparently, he took like 7 months off to shoot a documentary or something.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'll give him credit, though. 7 months off, 0 black smoke clouds. Right? So maybe
he knows the trick is to just keep, you know what I mean, keep your hands off.
Less metal. Let the people do their business, right? You stand back. You just answer questions if problems arise. The only thing that's happened so far on the airwaves or on the air, like on the airlines, right? Remember Buttigieg, we had doors blasting off of Alaska Airlines flights and all sorts of weird moments where planes were nearly colliding on the tarmac. Here in Denver, we just had a crazy nut job run onto the tarmac and just get sucked into the plane engine. That's like the biggest plane disaster we've had so far, right?
Yeah, I think. I guess.
Was that during Trump when the chick pilot crashed into the plane?
I was saying I would still kind of try.
I blame that on Biden and DEI, though. Yeah, exactly.
What's this bitch doing in the cockpit? You know? Okay, here's the answer. Transportation sec Sean Duffy spent parts of 7 months filming a family reality show called The Great American Road Trip. While critics accused him of taking extended time off, Duffy clarified that he did not step away from his duties, but instead filmed during short 1 to 2 day windows, like weekends and holidays.
Folks, we elected a reality TV star president. This is on brand, man. Come on.
This is what we get.
I mean, quite frankly, I'm looking forward to the Netflix special of Tulsi Gabbard, right? That's going to be a great series when that comes out, right?
I don't know what it is. Going on a family road trip with your wife and kids doesn't bother me as much as you and your boyfriend adopted 2 kids.
Right. Good call.
Because at least Sean Duffy didn't like disguise it as maternity leave.
Right.
He was just like, hey, no, guys, I'm taking off 7 months. I'm going to shoot
this
a
reality show.
Yeah, wouldn't you?
Yeah, at least like there's some sort of honesty there. Whereas Pete Buttigieg, 2 months off to breastfeed your adopted children, like get the fuck out of here, dude. You took 2 months off to hang out at a beach resort somewhere, guaranteed. While the nannies you hired took care of these adopted kids you guys got for simply publicity.
Just a bit. And look, just like we said with Trump and the 30 executives, just do it in front of our face. Let us know. You know what I mean? Just let us know what you guys are doing. You know?
Oh, man. Tulsi Gabbard stepped down this week, dude. Did you catch any of that action? I thought that was pretty shocking stuff, considering she was kind of in the news like a week ago, bringing to light a lot of crazy stuff that has to do with Crossfire Hurricane and Arctic frost and a lot of the shenanigans involving Obama, Brennan, and the CIA during the transition from Obama to Trump, and then also the attempt to dismantle his presidency leading up to 2020. I mean, she was actually coming forward with a lot of interesting info, and then sure enough, out of nowhere, she resigns, citing her
dude.
husband's health with a turbo bone cancer.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah, they got him, dude, for sure.
The CIA's got a gun for everything nowadays. I mean, they didn't stop at the heart attack gun back in the 1970s, right? So they got the husband. Am I right about that? Am I?
Yeah. If I was her, I'd go home and check for ticks. They got something.
Oh, good call, dude. Which are spreading everywhere and killing everybody, man. So yeah, I just think it's super interesting. I really swear it was just a week ago that she was out there talking about the Crossfire Hurricane and Arctic frost or freeze. I might be flubbing that one a little bit, but also I gotta say, Mike, maybe 7 days ago, it was on the docket last week and we just ran out of time. But Tulsi Gabbard launched a major review of more than 120 U.S.-funded biological laboratories overseas, and the probe targets potential risky gain-of-function research going on at these laboratories, man. Yeah. No. Yeah. So the labs span more than 30 countries, including over 40 biolabs in Ukraine, bro.
No.
Excuse me?
Yeah.
But Frank, I remember 4 years ago, Putin said they existed, and we were told that was like a right-wing conspiracy.
Was it? So I was thinking about this. Who said that a while back? Because we talked about this not too long ago. That
remember
hey, man,
Putin said one of the reasons he invaded was because the U.S. was doing gene therapy. He cited COVID, and he said they were doing the same experiments that led to COVID. They were doing it in labs in Ukraine.
Yes, that's what I thought.
And it was a right-wing conspiracy.
Right, yes.
It's crazy.
Yeah, I thought I had something on it. It's weird how this stuff happens. So, everyone shits on Trump and the MAGA movement, how it's all a bust because of Epstein, but in the same exact breath, or underneath the breath, if you will, this stuff just kind of floats into the headlines and nobody ever freaking talks about it. And it's like, dude, we're dealing with a tick explosion of alpha-gal syndrome, something that Bill Gates conveniently likes to test on his tick farm and all this stuff. And then at the same time, you're conspiracy theorists for thinking gain-of-function's going on, or we're messing with the biology of bugs or any of that kind of stuff. And then Tulsi Gabbard says, hey, you know what? I just discovered 120 biolabs where we're doing gain-of-function research across the world, 40 of which are in Ukraine. And then a week later, I got to resign because my husband has cancer. We'll see you guys later. Thanks for playing. Yeah. It's like, come on,
where was Hillary these past couple of weeks? Jesus Christ.
No, it doesn't have the Clinton calling card. That's the noose around the neck with the 2 bullet holes through the back of the skull, right? That's how it works. With
or you're a collegiate swimmer who drowns in 3 feet of still water.
Interesting times, though. A lot of people were speculating, oh man, she resigns. She was a kind of secretly, but not so secretly, a big anti-Iran war kind of stalwart in the administration there. Right, exactly.
And she is anti-war. That was the whole reason she jumped on board with Trump.
Right.
I don't understand how that got swept under the rug. Kamala Harris repeatedly said she thought the number one threat to America was Iran.
I know. There's so many video clips of
every time she was asked who the biggest threat was.
Yes,
she would bring up Iran.
I mean, Hillary Clinton was obsessed with the Iran situation back in 2016 when she was running.
Yes.
And Trump famously said, this lady's going to get us into World War III by bombing Iran.
Excuse me?
Yeah. Here we are.
So crazy.
Which I had it on, I don't know if you noticed, but I just kind of put it casually on the docket, essentially, this whole Iran thing, because as I was planning the show and as the weekend had been kind of rolling along. Oh, did I just cut Mike off? I don't know how I do that every time, dude. Unbelievable. It's because we're talking about Iran. Bibi Netanyahu Always watching at all times, folks. Never forget. That's how it works with the BB. Oh, there he goes again. Yeah, but Iran, I guess they're saying now that we've agreed to a ceasefire, or there's something, some element of a ceasefire going on. I don't know who to believe with this kind of nonsense anymore. But then at the same time, I saw that we were preparing for more military strikes. Trump canceled his appearance at his son's wedding reception down somewhere in Florida. I think they were supposed to be. Went back to DC. JD Vance canceled something. Apparently, everyone was gearing up for another strike on Iran, but now I guess no, that's fake news. And now they're saying that we have a potential ceasefire going on. How's that sound to you, Mike? What are you thinking? Can you even hear me? I got no mic on there.
Hello.
Oh, there he is. All right, nice.
Hey,
Yeah.
all right.
I wasn't sure. That's why I threw the question out there. So they're saying there's a ceasefire. There's a potential agreement. They're claiming that dude who had no more arms or legs and barely a face, that Mojaba Kanjabi, whatever his name was, apparently he agreed to this potential ceasefire.
He's dead.
So. Wait, what? No, is he actually?
I thought they just killed him in the last bombing. No, maybe not.
See, this is the thing. We're living in Orwell's 1984 now, where we have no idea.
You don't know.
I don't know who to trust. I don't know what kind of information we're getting out of this. And Trump, man, he likes to play the media like a fiddle, and so who knows, right? You think Mojab is dead? They're saying he cut a deal.
I don't think anybody knows.
I think we're just going to nuke Iran eventually. That's what's going to happen.
I don't think he even knows who he's talking to.
That's what,
like, I picture the phone rings and there's just a bunch of guys like hot potato. You know what I mean? Just throwing it back and forth.
Dude, again, I remember them saying that we bombed so many of these high commanders that we don't even know who we're dealing with anymore. And I think every time someone picked up the phone, didn't Israeli just bomb the location where the phone was answered? And so they just stopped answering the phone.
Not right away. They waited until they said no.
Right. Oh, good call. Yeah. Yes. Yeah, that makes a lot.
I mean, that's what we should do, is just keep killing them until they say yes.
Right. Until someone answers the phone and says yes.
Somebody's trying. Have you guys not seen The Fifth Element? Right. You go in there, you shoot the negotiator in the head. Anybody else want to negotiate? You know?
Yeah, man. No, I'm telling you, I don't think they know what they're dealing with. I saw an article this week where they planned on putting Ahmadinejad. You remember Ahmadinejad?
No.
Dude, Ahmadinejad, he was the president of Iran for years, man. He had that like beige members only jacket he would wear all the time. Like the weird off-centered, slightly crooked haircut, man. Yeah, Ahmadinejad, dude. I'm surprised you don't remember this guy. I got to find a picture of him. Anyways, apparently they were going to make Ahmadinejad. Here's what's crazy. I'm talking about this, and then I'm literally in the midst of, how the fuck does somebody spell Ahmadinejad, man? Where would you start with Ahmadinejad?
A-K-H.
I shockingly went white guy with it, and it literally came up with exactly who I was looking for. That was, I know. It's amazing. We live in great times right now. AI is amazing, dude. Yeah.
But good luck getting into autocorrect restaurant. I just don't know.
I'm telling you.
I need you to tell me where this U goes. Once I figure that out, I don't even need you anymore. You know?
We're living in the days of AI, allegedly, but it can't figure out how to auto-spell anymore. Yeah, you remember Ahmadinejad?
No, not really.
You don't remember Ahmadinejad, man?
Kind of looks like Adam Carolla. Not Adam Carolla, Steve Carell.
All right, I like it. Iranian Steve Carell.
Yeah.
So the point being is he used to be president, and apparently, allegedly, according to Bibi and Trump's plan, they were going to kill everyone and then spare Ahmadinejad and offer him the gig as the supreme leader of Iran. Except Bibi bombed his house, and they have no idea what happened to Ahmadinejad, and he's disappeared now. So there goes their potential. That was their backup plan. That's what I'm trying to say. So now who are we dealing with? Moktaba? Who's this guy? Is he even alive?
You don't even know.
We found out like a month ago he was gay and missing all his limbs. So I have no idea. Like, what are we talking about here? It's a bunch of bullshit with the whole Iranian thing.
Had the erectile dysfunction, the famous erectile dysfunction.
They kept dancing with both, so I don't know. You know what I'm saying?
Maybe he just Charlie Sheened it.
Well, I was thinking, is that
a lot of cocaine or
well, that's right. Oh man, well, Mike, it was a big week, dude. It's all I could think about. I don't know if you tuned in. I definitely didn't tune in. It was past my bedtime, but it's all I heard about nonstop this week. And finally, thank God, because I never want to hear about this show ever again. Stephen Colbert's Late Show finale. Bittersweet, they're saying, my man. Everyone was very sad. Apparently, there were lots of tears. I sent you this write-up this guy did. It was very fascinating. It was just about how the whole... It was just a creative kind of rendition on the mind manipulation process and the TDS that made the machine that was late night run, essentially, which was basically just confirming everyone's biased beliefs about Trump and Republicans and MAGA, and just repeating every night their own biases in politically and socially, and giving them this confirmation and dopamine hit night after night. Essentially, and that's kind of what Colbert was. You and I talked about this, how now we can heal as a country, allegedly, or essentially.
I do like too how it wasn't even TDS for everybody, dude. It was specifically boomers.
Yes,
right. And I do love
absolutely,
how if you scroll up there, it's it's right there. They said that Stephen Colbert was like a political thing. It had nothing to do with the ratings and the fact that he wasn't popular amongst young people.
Right.
But even in this article, the headline is guests: Paul McCartney, Elvis Costello, Bryan Cranston, and Tig Notaro. They're all 80 years old. Nobody liked the show that's under 60.
Absolutely, yeah. Paul Rudd, Cranston was there. Paul McCartney came out. He had Elvis Costello on stage. They jammed out to "Hello Goodbye," and and then the other late night Jimmies came out and they pretended to be sucked into a wormhole, and it's very, very kind of lame. So I'm gonna say in a lot of ways, super lame. But the best part about it was a couple things, actually. There were a couple of viral things that I found to be absolutely hilarious, and one of them was at the end of the whole thing, they did like a group shot, and everyone online was talking about
audience.
That is the crew. That is the entire crew there. Yeah.
It doesn't even fit in one picture. It is.
It's a lot of people, man.
There's 200 people there. Very diverse, mostly women.
A lot of white chicks, and
I see why the show wasn't funny.
Bit of a bloated payroll going on there. I'm going to say a little high labor cost maybe potentially happening in this
Look at all situation. The women running that. That is why that show is not funny.
Yeah, dude, it's a bunch of white chicks.
Look at all the women.
But they're writing for white chicks, so I'm not mad about it. You know what I mean? Like, let's go.
Even the men are women. Like, look at the dude in the blue.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. No, it's all chicks. Top to bottom. Yeah. So that's all you need to know as far as...
I wouldn't want to run into any one of those people at a party.
Great call,
you know
dude.
What I mean? You get
absolutely.
Trapped in a corner.
Yes, man.
Hear about how oppressive the state is.
Highlight of the closing of this finale was the fact that it got 6.73 million viewers. And that doesn't seem like a lot considering Johnny Carson got, I think, something like 17 million, if I'm not mistaken. Or maybe I'm confusing him with Jay Leno, and I think Carson had like 30 million. So 6 million, though, Mike, out of 350 million people.
I know, it's nobody.
Nobody watched this, dude. Nobody.
I wonder what the Seinfeld was.
Great call, actually. I'm curious about that.
Isn't that the biggest one?
It might be one of the biggest finales of all time. And nobody compares to Seinfeld. There's no doubt about it. But what's so funny about this whole thing was...
76.3.
Wow.
For Seinfeld.
Holy cow, 76. Dude. That was a cultural phenomenon, though. I mean, the ending of Seinfeld, everyone was tuned in, dude. Come on, that was crazy. It was our MASH, basically.
Oh, such a great show.
What's hilarious about that 6 million viewer number is that Trump and the White House tweeted this out later at night after the finale, and it within hours garnered hundreds of thousands, if not millions, more views within seconds.
Millions more.
It's a 20-second clip.
Welcome back to our final
of Trump throwing Stephen Colbert into a dumpster.
Broadcast, ladies and gentlemen.
And then he does the Trump dance. Yeah.
The best part is, if they would have actually just done that on the show, it would have been the most viral late night clip of all time. You know, really missed the opportunity.
You know what? He missed an opportunity. He could have bridged the gap and brought Trump on as his last guest.
Yeah.
Mended the wound of our country. Hey, let's bring him on. Let's shake hands and let bygones be bygones, and let's move forward. Let's persevere together, right? No. They had to do the wormhole gag and all that stuff. And I don't care. This guy's an asshole. I used to love Stephen Colbert when he did the Colbert Report, which was absolutely hilarious. Just from an all-around satirical perspective, it was so on point. That character was just...
He did it perfect. But you know what was the best about it? And also, this is another example of which side has the sense of humor, is when Colbert had the Colbert Report, a lot of Republicans really liked that show. Yes. And they were just happy that Comedy Central and mainstream TV had their opinion being put out there, even in a satirical way.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. Yeah. No, Bill O'Reilly loved it. I think he was even a guest. Papa Bear was a guest on the show, if I remember correctly.
And all the Republicans went on that show.
Liberals hate the idea, but it's true. Republicans, they have a sense of humor. They like to make fun of themselves, actually. They're comfortable with it.
Can't make a single tranny joke on a roast or the George Floyd joke.
The least offensive and the least funny joke of his entire set. That's all you guys talked about afterwards. It's unbelievable to me.
Dude, looking up from heaven, can't breathe. That's so...
It's funny, so funny. I mean, dude, he unloaded. And by the way, I watched a clip of like a replay of his roast at the Tom Brady one from a few months ago.
Worse.
Even better, dude. Oh my God. Way more offensive, dude. I don't care Stephen Colbert is gone because he's a paid shill for big pharma and he's a government propagandist. That's what he is.
100%.
The DNC Twitter account tweeted a farewell of Stephen Colbert. That's all you need to know.
Yes.
But if you need to know a little more as to why I don't like Stephen Colbert and why I'm glad he's gone, and I can't wait for Jimmy Kimmel to follow him, even though I love Jimmy Kimmel. I loved him from The Man Show, and I still find him to be a funny guy, but he pisses me off because of what he did during COVID and how he said to everybody in the nation, if you didn't get vaccinated, you deserve to die of a heart attack at the front doors of the hospital.
Yep.
That was Jimmy Kimmel. And to go along with that, Stephen Colbert, #1 pharma shill, decided that this was how he was going to promote the vaccine when it was rolled out. And the vaccine was a mandate, people. Those were your Nazis of the modern era. Everyone wants to throw the Nazi word around and call Trump Hitler, but the Hitler was Biden, and the Nazis were the Democrats. If you're a Democrat, you were a Nazi. I hate to break it to you. And you know what? Your cheerleader on late night was this piece of crap, Stephen Colbert.
And if you're one of these assholes like our parents who are like, I'm not a Democrat, I'm an independent. I just never found a Republican that I liked and voted for. Okay, well then you're a Democrat too. We're talking about you too.
Yes.
Fucking assholes. I'm so sick of hearing that.
This is for all you people out there who supported the vaccine mandates and the masks, and everyone out there who were big fans of Stephen Colbert who can't simply understand why he's off the air. It has nothing to do with Trump. It has nothing to do with money. It has everything to do with the fact that people like me around the world turned him off after this crap. This is the vaccine.
The vaccine.
Shameful. Disgusting. And the worst part is, he dressed up these needle women, and they're dudes. These are dudes in needle costumes with makeup on. It's disgusting.
All of you to the gulag.
This right here was the entire 4 years of the Biden administration to everyone else that didn't vote for the guy. I hope everyone understands.
And Trump, I got the first boots on the ground right here. Any country, Iran, Cuba, just send them first.
Yeah, when you kick off that draft for World War III, start with these assholes dancing behind Stephen Colbert in the costumes, dude. Look at this. Here's what I love about this.
Man, dude, you're out there fucking dancing, dude. Get the.
Is this comedy, by the way? Is this comedy? Is this funny to everybody? This disgusts me to my core, man. Because at this time, man, I was being barred from restaurants. I couldn't go back to my job. I had to get a new job. I hope everyone understands that. That's why this boils my freaking blood. Because when this aired, I was staring down a future where I wasn't sure where I could live or make money or have a life. Because I was under the impression I was going to have to fucking forge my vaccine passport to just get a job, to make money, to go out to eat, to travel. And Stephen Colbert on here dancing his life away. And here's the best part about it. He goes and grabs this elderly lady to dance with her, to dance with him, who I guarantee, after the 7 boosters, is probably already dead as we speak right now. Statistically speaking, the lady he dances with here is already dead because of the vaccines. Look. Oh, yeah. There's no way that lady's still alive. All those people had to be vaccinated and show their vaccine passports to be in that audience, by the way. Do you remember this?
Just look at all the people in the audience. I don't want to hang out with any of you.
None of you, man.
A single one of you I want to hang out with.
So that's all I'm going to say on Stephen Colbert. Sayonara, dude. I didn't like you after that moment 5 years ago. Go fuck yourself. And everybody else that was on par with that, get lost, man. You deserve to have your career ended. Yep. You're a shill for Big Pharma. You sold a poison to the American people and convinced people like my parents to tell people like me, no thanks, don't come home for Christmas. We don't want you here poisoning the rest of us.
You don't respect the science.
Plague rat. Yeah,
don't
man.
Respect the science.
Yes, dude. Unbelievable stuff. So that's all I had to say on Colbert. You got anything on Colbert?
Yeah,
I don't know how you know.
I'm so glad. Yeah, it's a country that's healing. We're getting rid of these clowns.
Yeah, when you said that the other week, I was like, you're right on the money. This is part of the healing. And you know what? We got to keep this going. Get MSNBC off the air. It's unbelievable, the trash that they're pumping on that network. Yeah. It's terrible.
And CNN, thank God they got Scott Jennings on there. That's the only thing that makes it watchable.
Yeah, I really like Scott Jennings.
He's pretty good on there, yeah.
CNN, the CIA knows what it's doing, all right? And so they've seen the way the tide has changed. So they're clearly... They're going the balanced route. They're doing what Fox News does. Oh, we're fair and balanced, right? No, you just get paid by different people. You're the military-industrial complex on Fox News. CNN, you're the pharmaceutical-industrial complex.
Both controlled by the CIA. But
that's right, ultimately. And then controlled by the Jews, right? That's how it all works, if I understand it all, right?
Goes back to the Jews, just so you know. I don't know how these guys do it.
Speaking of the Jews controlling the world, we cannot escape this narrative, unfortunately.
Frank, they don't control... Ben Shapiro keeps having to explain that is what is anti-Semitic. When you believe... Frank, they're just a small country. They're a small group of 20 million people, Frank. They don't control the world. Just because they took over all of Palestine, they invaded Iran, they invaded Lebanon. They want to go after Oman? I don't even know.
Also, like, I mean, what percentage
they have the president of the United States in their pocket? These people don't control the world.
Like, what percentage of the U.S. Congress and Senate are dual citizens?
Oh, it's scary.
With Israel, I think is...
Well, look what happened with Thomas Massey, dude. AIPAC dropped like...
Are you psycho?
They dropped 30 million on that race.
Dude, no, you're missing the magic number, my friend. They paid 33 million. Yeah. And everybody who knows anything knows that 33 is the magic number when it comes to the Freemasons and the Illuminati and those who control the puppeteers who control the puppet strings, man. Yeah, dude. So pretty unbelievable stuff. They're saying this was the official death of MAGA, or at least Tucker Carlson did say it was the official
fuck
death.
Tucker Carlson.
I know
you. God, he's so annoying. Dude.
Well, just Tucker, can you just admit you're CIA? We all know, dude. Stop beating around. He always does the quizzical look. I'm like, what is porn? I've never seen porn before. You're like, dude, shut up, man. Like, come on. You know what porn is, Tucker. Well, I don't own a TV. I've never seen one before. How does it work? Like, oh, you know what a TV is, man.
That's very interesting. Me and my family, we just live in the woods.
I know.
In the woods? You live off of a highway in New York.
I fish and hunt all day. I've never seen a computer. Explain this device to me. Social media? What is that?
That's ridiculous.
Tucker, I did watch some of his speech, basically. It was pretty interesting. I still like to get tucked from time to time, but this was a fascinating moment in time. It was the most money ever spent on a primary race in
insane.
Congressional history.
Yeah.
33 million. Again, the magic number for the Illuminati or the puppeteers who control everything. Wild stuff. Trump went all in on backing this other fella. I can't even think of his name right now, but Massey is out. And Marjorie Taylor Greene, everybody, they're all saying that they're saying there's no coincidence here that this guy was clearly against this Israeli lobby. He's the only one who went on Tucker and said, everybody but me are literally paid by the Israeli lobby.
It's all AIPAC. Yeah, they own Congress.
Mysterious donors just happened to donate a record-breaking amount of millions of dollars into getting this guy out of this isn't even the race against the Democrats. This was just to get him out of the primary. Like, it's amazing to me. 14 years, I think he's been in Congress.
Well, they don't even have to race against the Democrats. Whoever the Republican is there is going to win.
Yeah, great call.
But
it
is crazy to spend that much money on a primary.
Did you see the hit job on him? A lot of people are saying the hit job is what really knocked him out. Laura Loomer, not an Israeli shill on any level, so stop with your anti-Semitism on Laura Loomer. But she apparently did a massive interview with this chick who became Massey's girlfriend right around when his wife was dying, and then right after. And apparently she claimed Massey was a compulsive liar and controlling and manipulated her, and then claimed that he got it on with Lauren Boebert from Colorado. Hey, now, Colorado always in the news for the worst reasons.
Dude, but how many of your ex-girlfriends could I go interview right now and they're going to just speak glowingly of you?
Not a single one, actually. In fact, go talk to my current girlfriend. Not even one glowing remark.
Nothing but complaints. No! I'm just saying, I love when they're like, no, we found his ex-girlfriend. She said he was a piece of shit. Like, no one, of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah, all right. No, you're right.
All of my ex-girlfriends were whores. That's, you know what I mean?
Right. Yes.
I just didn't know it at the time. Now I do. Right?
Yeah, man. So I don't know. They're saying the AIPAC lobby, which again, famously, Thomas Massey went on Tucker Carlson's podcast not even a year ago and very specifically said, I am the only one in Congress not on the payroll with AIPAC. And here we are.
Is AIPAC a thing? What is AIPAC? Do they have they put money into Congress?
Yes. Can you spell AIPAC? I've never heard of this before.
AIPAC? So ridiculous.
I asked Rock real quick while we were getting down. I'm like, what percentage of U.S. Congress and the Senate are dual citizens of Israel? According to Grok, 0%. Actually, 0% are dual.
And do you currently... he said 0%, Frank. And do you currently still reside at 123 West? Just so you know, AI is also finding targets for the military. So
that's right, man. It seems like where I live, I mean, I could see Claude accidentally mistaking my house for a school yard. You know what I'm saying? It's possible. This could be a girls' school here. Claude can't tell the difference, my man. So I rephrased and revised my question. I refreshed to be fresh, and I said, well, okay, Grok, No dual citizenship. I see what you're saying, but how many received money from AIPAC? Let's go down this route with our friend Thomas Massey. And according to Grok, this is I have him on fast mode, so he's not thinking deep. So this is dumb Grok here. But Grok is saying around 65% of the current U.S. Congress has received money from AIPAC.
Excuse me?
That means about 349 out of the 535 total members of the House and Senate, Mike, received AIPAC-related contributions. So, what's that? Bombing Iran next week? I think that's on the docket.
Get out of here. 65?
65% of the U.S. Congress, and that's the Senate and House, 349 out of 535 members.
Grok, two-part question here. What is the USA's AIPAC equivalence in Israel? And what percentage of their parliament is paid for by our lobby group?
Of their parliament?
I don't know. Do they have parliament? What do they have?
I think they do a parliament.
Yeah.
Wow, yeah. So what would be our AIPAC equivalent in Israel in their Congress or parliament or what they have?
And how much control does that group have?
Mike, that is a very sophisticated, in-depth question. I'm very proud of that, actually. I can't believe that comes out of our bloodline. We are fleas, to remind everyone. But,
I'm just a dumb plumber.
So, Mike, what is the AIPAC, the U.S. AIPAC equivalent in Israel? Well, that is funny you ask, sir. There is no direct equivalent to AIPAC.
I'm starting to think they rule the rules.
You know that Nick Fuentes? Smart guy, that Nick Fuentes. Those grapers are onto something, man.
I'm giving up girls altogether, man. I'm now celibate.
That Candace Owens, not too crazy now that I think about it, right? Yeah.
I did see that bulge in that lady's pants myself.
That Macron is a bit manly now. That little bit of a big Mike Obama going on there now that I look at the shoulders, right?
You know, and that widow whose husband's neck got blown up on TV. She's the one I don't trust in this whole.
Do you know what's crazy though? Because I always say Candace is a psyop on some level, and I do. We all agree shenanigans are at foot with the Charlie Kirk assassination. Like it wasn't the kid on the roof with the fucking hunting rifle.
I don't believe with the story that was.
Somebody else. I'm more inclined to believe a secondary shooter from behind in the shadows, a Mossad agent, if you will, or CIA agent, double agent,
Frank,
or
Mossad. There's no representative of Israel even anywhere near America. What's that? Oh, BP was in the United States at the time.
I'm not kidding, man. It was, what time did he get shot? Like 11 a.m. It was like 10:45 that day, and BB was like, "Should I send the tweet now? Too soon for the tweet."
The flowers arrived to Erica's house. It was the scene from Pulp Fiction. They're waiting outside, like, "Oh, we're a little early."
Smoking a cig. I'm just saying, like, it's so obvious something else was going on, and then on top of it all, yeah, sure, Kash Patel and the FBI, they buried a lot of stuff, and then
they did.
It is just insane that they went in there and dug 4 feet deep onto the crime scene and buried it in cement. I mean, it's kind of seems like you're burying some evidence there. I don't know. I mean, just literally casual observation.
But I love how all that you got Candace Owens who's like, you know, who I really don't trust that wife.
Yeah, I know. That wife is onto something. No, and then she's like, the guys in the maroon shirts and the Egyptians on the plane and then the Fort Huachuca and all this stuff. It's like, you are actually distracting from the real conspiracy going on here, which is like, there were 2 guys who claimed to be the shooter at the moment there, and no one's talking about those 2 guys.
One guy claimed to be the shooter and then immediately was arrested for child porn.
Child porn?
So then he was not allowed to be interviewed or anything. Yes. Nobody has questions about this?
That's what I'm saying. Like, there are some serious issues going on with the story that need real questioning and investigation. But Candace, I think, just is a plant by the MI6 and the CIA to distract and take you to Fort Huachuca. Don't worry about the scene of the crime. No, go to Fort Huachuca and think about that for the rest of your time. Think about the maroon shirts on all the random dudes in the crowd, but don't think about the guy with the kiddie porn on his device that said, "I'm the shooter," with his pants around his ankles. Like, don't talk about that guy. So I don't know. Candace to me, psyop. But I love Candace because she was in the news this week, not for being crazy Candace. She's putting that aside and she's allowing some other crazy to join her on the platform and maybe even take a little bit of that crazy spotlight. Our favorite rocker of the Canadian tuxedo, Mike, he can't get enough of these podcasts, man. Our guy, the one, the only Hunter Biden, man.
No way.
On Candace. I'm thinking she's losing the lawsuit on the Macron penis story. So she's like, I got to start making friends with people on the
nobody's talking about her anymore. It's always the problem with the conspiracy people is they go, you can only go so crazy.
Yes.
You know what I mean? You've already accused the French first lady of being a dude. Like, you know.
Great call. She's gone too crazy. Now she's got to get it. She has to bring in someone crazier to make her seem less crazy. Bring in the guy who believes it's way better and healthier for you to smoke crack than drink alcohol. All right, we'll bring in this guy.
Said probably better. Yeah. Probably better.
You're right. I'm putting words in Hunter's mouth. Well, let's get the lowdown. So I got Hunter here. This episode is really wacky. I watched a few clips here and there, but I found this one out there, and I thought this was just a hilarious little insight on one of our favorite stories from the Biden administration and his tenure there in the White House, which was the mysterious bag of cocaine, Mike.
Oh, no way.
Owned that bag of cocaine, and we got to get the lowdown from the man, the myth, the legend himself, Hunter Biden.
The cocaine that was found at the White House. Yeah. Was it yours?
No, not only was it not mine. No, number one is thank you for having me here. And one of the reasons is to be able to answer these questions. You know, the one thing I am, after 6 years of this, I've been sober since June 1st of 2019, clean and sober. Verifiably so, by the way.
Right. June 1st, 2019. So like the day your dad decided to run for president?
No.
Get the fuck out of here. You know, I saw that protest and President Trump said there was good people on both sides. I put down my crack pipe and I said, Pops, we got to fight for this country, man.
We got to save this country, man. I cut all my shady deals with China and with Ukraine. And I said, no, we got to do something and save this country, man.
Called up my guy in China, said, hold those checks. We got some business to take care of.
Called up my boy Zelensky in Ukraine. I said, put those hookers on hold.
But why are we even listening to this guy? Who's interviewing him? Why?
It's Candace, equally crazy. And Mike, I thought it was important for us to know the truth behind the bag of cocaine. The mystery bag.
Fuck the bag of cocaine. Candace, you know what your first question should be? Hunter, thanks for being here. How well are your paintings selling?
Yes, dude.
Excuse me?
Still getting $500,000 for those puppies?
It's amazing how the sales for your painting stopped right around January 20th, 2025. I don't know. Is that strange or? All right. Let's get a little more out of this.
The Trumps have the meme coins. You have the paintings. It's crazy.
And I love this guy worth hundreds of millions of dollars rocking the Canadian tuxedo in all these interviews. Mike, he's going all in on the everyday average Joe look, dude. He's Scranton Joe, Scranton Hunter, dude. Come on.
You think he's worth $100 million?
Absolutely, dude.
No way.
Well, I think not him. So not Hunter personally, but the Biden family. I think he's part of that Biden family, crime family. You know what I mean? Pilfering of the institutions and the funneling and the filtering and the laundering of all the money and the illegal dealings going on overseas. I really think
this is all you need to know about this family. Hunter Biden's exact net worth is unknown.
Oh my God, seriously? Oh, he's just a kid. Mike, as a kid,
while
who
his
has
consulting
anything?
and business ventures previously generated millions in income, his financial standing has been significantly impacted by substantial legal fees and multi-million-dollar debts. No! This guy is the most corrupt person in the world. First of all, his consulting and business ventures produced millions. What was he consulting? He's never done anything in his life. What are you consulting? How to be a crack addict? How to fuck your brother's widow?
This is the problem with career politicians, though. Joe Biden, 40 years career politician, so his sons and everybody else associated with him, cousins and uncles and everyone, could just be sleazeballs and get these consulting gigs and never actually earn a dime, but just kind of eke their way through society and life, leeching off of the rest of us, man, and whatever illegal dealings their lifetime appointee fathers are doing in Congress. And that's why I know everyone was up in arms about Thomas Massey, but I think what kind of got lost in the Thomas Massey story is 14 years in Congress. In my book, maybe 7 years too much. You know what I'm saying?
He had a good run.
Yeah, you know what? Maybe at 10 years, no more. Because after a certain point, you start to get corrupt, and then your kids become corrupt, and then you become Joe Biden and his sleazeball crackhead son, Hunter, gallivanting around the world, banging underage hookers in Ukraine and making slimeball deals with Chinese diplomats. I mean, you know what? This is all we need to know. Let's end the career politician. We shouldn't have Chuck Schumer or Nancy Pelosi or Mitch McConnell is a corpse that is just like he's dead, and they're just carting his body away from the seat this year.
No, but you're right. We got to get into this corruption. We need to bring in more people like Trump who are not career politicians. and look how his family handled it. They bought a rocket company and then started a war. The old-fashioned way, Frank. That's a hard the American dream. Right.
What we're going to do here is we're going to destabilize the Strait of Hormuz, and then you're going to need security. So we're going to sign on to this DOD contract with our AI drone technology, and we'll provide you the security for your destabilized region.
I like how that works.
It's a lifetime contract. Don't worry. We'll
Are you sure this won't be any conflict of interest with your father? Oh, he's got a blind trust.
No, he's Don Trump. I'm Don Jr. Trump. That's a huge difference, man. Did
you see Trump? They exposed like all his trades. It's supposed to be a blind trust, but the guy he's made hundreds of millions of dollars off these decisions he's making.
So they kind of poo-pooed and dismissed that by claiming Trump isn't there on Robinhood making the trades on his phone.
But it's one fucking phone call. Hey, buy NVIDIA. You know what I mean?
So according to the Trumps and the family and the brothers, they're all saying, look, Dad, he's running the country, man. He's busy with the war in Iran. He's got all this stuff going on, shutting down the border. He doesn't have time to go on to Robinhood or onto his apps.
But everybody who believes that, when Joe Biden was like, I never talked to my son about his business, was like, come on!
Yeah,
that's like bullshit! What do you mean you never talk to your son? It's this, you know what I'm saying?
No, you and I are on this, I think, perfectly. We're simpatico, which is Hunter and Joe and Don and Eric and Donald. No difference in those relationships, man.
Opposite sides of the same coin. That's all it is.
They're just laundering their money through different institutions, man.
But they're doing it differently.
Yes.
In different countries.
But the fraud is the same. They're laundering money. They're making buco bucks, and they're all planning for their exit. That's the exit strategy for these families, which is let's make our stakes now so that way when we're out, we can financially weather the storm of the Democrats coming at us and destroying our lives and throwing us in jail, right? That's, they're just kind of waiting for it, right?
So sad.
You want to finish Hunter, or
let's do it.
We'll finish Hunter, and then we'll hit the break.
I'm sure he'll say something stupid within 15 seconds.
Well, the whole thing here in my mind is just the depravity of the Biden administration, what we went on for those 4 years. You had the tranny dude exposing his tits on the lawn during Easter Sunday, and the two gay guys banging each other in the Senate offices. I mean, it was a gross time to be alive. And then just buried under it all, just a mysterious bag of cocaine that just popped up at the White House, right?
Verifiably so by the Bureau of Probation, in which I was drug tested randomly for over the course of 2 years while I went through my trials and things like that. But beyond that is that, directly to your question, I wasn't even there. Not only there, but people have to understand is where that cocaine was found was, the visitor's entrance underneath that is where visitors come in and they come over from the old executive office building staff to go to the Oval or go to the chief of staff's office or to the offices in the West Wing. and it was found in a cubby in right outside of the Situation Room.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like no possibility, not even remotely, beyond the fact that I wasn't even there.
Yeah, not
Plus,
even. I love. He knows every detail about where this cocaine was. You know what I'm saying? Like, wait, where was it exactly? You know, he asked the Secret Service when they found it. He's like, "Yeah, what kind of bag was it? Where was it? Specific."
Candace, it was obvious that cocaine was from Nicaragua. I only do crack made from cocaine from Colombia.
I could just see they find it, they bring it in the Oval, and Hunter's there, and he dips his finger. Nah, I would never do that.
This was bought from Jim on 6th Street. I always go to Kevin over on 29th. Yeah, dude, you know way too many.
I just love here we are years later, and he's still having to deny the fact that this bag of cocaine was his. Like, dude, that was your coke, man. There's like, come on, dude.
Hunter, we found a bag of cocaine. Was it yours? Bag of cocaine? That's weird. Was it in the cubby by the Situation Room?
Third from
Never
the left. Did you hear me? He knew the direction, like the exact cubby, like down to the side on the left. To the west,
double knot on the... never seen it. No.
Hunter's more of a crack guy. I don't think he's a coke guy, or maybe he likes it. He probably does it.
I like the theory that it was Kamala's.
A lot of people claim it was Kamala's, man, and I'm a big fan of the Kamala coke bag. Absolutely, dude. I ride with that theory over Hunter. Again, Hunter, more of a crack guy. And if it was Hunter's, the pipe would be next to it. You know what I'm saying? There'd be some other paraphernalia, right?
Candace, you know me. Was that bag full? Then it wasn't mine. I mean, empty bag with residue, blame me all day, but that bag was full.
As a visitor, who wants to do blow at the White House? I'd be more into taking some shrooms and walking around the White House.
Yeah, I don't really have any desire to go to the White House, to be honest with you.
I don't either, really.
Especially now that it's all gold. I mean,
it's a little tacky now. Yeah, definitely a little over the top.
So everybody's mentioning it, dude.
I tell you what, I would love to take a tour of the White House if they take you down that walkway where he's got the portraits and the auto pen portrait.
That would be funny to see.
Because I would love to take my picture in front of that auto pen.
The auto pen would be hilarious.
That's freaking hilarious, man.
Especially because it's between two Trumps.
Oh, it's fantastic. Yes.
Yeah. Genius.
It visually explains the F thing that happened on that night and just the stolen election and the coup d'etat that basically occurred in 2020. I mean, literally, an auto pen took over our country for 4 years, you know?
Dude, I had the funniest argument with our
Cocaine
dad with our dad this morning about the 2020 election.
Yeah, man.
All I wanted him to admit was that 12 million people showing up for one election is weird.
Yes.
Couldn't even give it to me. He was like,
really?
He's like, there's many possibilities that could have caused that.
Dude,
and I was like 12 million, only Democrats.
I know, come on.
The bar is the same every
but
election.
Also, but like 15, or you're saying 12, I thought it was 15, but 12 million Democrats mysteriously showed up on 2020 and not 2024. You're saying they were more inspired to show up in 2020 versus stopping Hitler 4 years later? Because you guys were stopping Hitler in 2020. Wouldn't you have 30 million more to stop Hitler? I mean, come on, we're stopping Hitler here. He wasn't Hitler in 2020, by the way. I want to remind everyone.
He was Hitler in 2020.
They were dancing. I don't remember the Hitler being so strong.
He was Hitler since 2016.
Really? Were they doing the Hitler?
I guess you're right.
I feel like
more like he was the dictator wannabe.
Yeah, I don't know.
Putin's puppet was a big...
To me, Hitler was like, they saw the internal numbers and they're like, oh my God, it's too big to rig. We can't produce 20 million Democrats. Like, that'll be too outrageous, you know?
They looked around in 2020 and they're like, let's see, we locked these people down, took away their freedoms, forced them to get papers.
They didn't show their papers,
we better call
right?
That guy Hitler. No! Like, nobody even said Hitler. They were just like, no, I'm not. You are. This guy's Hitler. You know?
Dude, it's amazing. The party of show your papers, the vaccine passport, everybody on the left. I know you hate to look at yourself in the mirror and admit it to yourself, but show your papers was the vaccine passport. It's the most Nazi thing we've ever experienced in this country since the 40s. Yeah. All right. It's amazing you guys turned around and said, that guy's Hitler. It's so crazy.
And just
it's so
whole,
crazy.
Just the whole like follow the science and everything. It's like that's what they all did. Look at like Mao in China. You know what I mean? It was all like you're denying reality when really you were just believing what your eyes told you. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Like,
dude, yes.
It's the fascist playbook 101. You know,
they closed the churches, told you not to congregate with your religious
no churches
fellows, and then stay at home and then listen to our God and deity,
Fauci.
They right? Our Jesus.
They literally turned him into a.
He was their Jesus.
Yeah,
and he spoke. He was the he spoke the gospel of the science, and people they wore their religious they wore the mask and
remember that
they participated in their
the rituals.
It was a religious experience for these people because they have no religion.
Don't you remember that famous interview with Fauci where he was like, when you criticize me, you're criticizing science.
The science, dude. Yeah.
I am the science. Yeah. Thank you, Father.
Yeah, Fauci was the science. And straight out of like a verse in Matthew of Jesus speaking to the disciples. Yes. You know what I mean? Like, I am he is I, and I am in you, and you are in me. And it's like, that was basically what Fauci was doing. It's insane, man.
He was the expert.
And you nutjobs out there, by the way, you had freaking candles and throw pillows with this guy's face on it and little dolls. I mean, you worshipped this guy like he was your Jesus.
You listened to him. You wore your 2 fucking masks.
Yes, man. Unbelievable.
So crazy. Remember that video that was like the kids were coming home from school and the parents were like spraying them with Lysol? And like we went so crazy.
I went to do flooring. I did tiles at the job that was shut down for 2 years because of this thing. And I was working with one of the guys there who used to be normal when I used to work with him. But then something happened over those 6 to 8 months. And all of a sudden he's like, I hang the masks in the window on the visor there because the sunlight kills the germs.
I know.
And I was like,
the
what
UV
the fuck are you talking about, dude? And he was telling me about his process for shopping. And like he had a box.
It's crazy.
He built or bought a box to put the groceries in where his groceries stayed for 36 hours because of some voodoo fucking science that he was convinced of that would clear the groceries of the disease that were clinging to the bags, man. It was insane, dude.
Did Nona ever tell you the story of when it first happened and her wiping everything down? It's like, it's one of the funniest stories. I love telling Nona stories because it really shows where we get it from. You know what I mean? So Nona loves telling the story that when COVID first happened, I had to still go to work. Everybody was shut down. I had to go to work. I was working for Roto-Rooter. So I was going from like house to house, unclogging drains.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? And Nona's sister, she has 3 sisters, and they were all watching the news, and Nona was watching the news, and everybody was telling her, I didn't know this at the time, but I guess everybody was telling her that I was essentially going to bring it home and kill her.
Well, yeah, of course, man.
So they were like, they were telling her, make sure that when I leave the house, she wipes everything I touched, wipes it down.
Wow.
Right. So she always tells the story that the first day I leave, she got these like Lysol wipes, and she was like wiping down the doorknobs, and then she went to the fridge, and she was wiping down the handles, and she was wiping down the remote. She was like, after 30 minutes, she realized she would have to spend all day wiping down everything. And she just came up and said, "I'll take the risk."
Yes, dude.
That's why I love Nona. She'll only listen to that bullshit.
Somewhere in your mind,
you know?
But somewhere in your mind, this is what happened, I think, to the 20% of us during COVID.
Yeah.
Which was, well, we survived all this millennia without doing this crap.
That's what she said. And
how did humanity survive all the way to this point without this diaper on the face and spritzing, alcohol on everything? This is nonsense.
Right. Well, I forgot who said it, but the helmet is the great example. If you tell me, Mike, you wear a helmet when you ride a motorcycle, I could. In my head, it makes sense. I'm exposed. I'm surrounded by machines traveling at high speeds. Probably protect my head. If you say, Mike, you got to wear your helmet inside the car. Well, I think that's kind of stupid. No, it's safer. It might be marginally safer. You're right. If I get into an accident, I'll give it. You're probably right, but it's stupid. You know what I mean? I'm going to take my chance.
Yes.
Because I'm
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's retarded. That's what you're basically saying.
It's a risk. I'm an adult who can assess my own risk reward.
Yes.
Right? I understand that the risk on the motorcycle is a lot, for my head, is a lot worse than the risk in the car.
The mask pissed me off because I wore the gaiter. And the gaiter for me was the sign to everybody. It was the signal. I don't believe you and I don't care. I don't believe you and I don't care. And you're forcing me to wear something. So I picked the least I picked the thing that works the least, that does nothing, that I can breathe through. Okay? Because I don't believe you. And then to have people ask you to cover it up or cover up the nose with the thing that clearly doesn't work, that we all agree doesn't work, and you're telling me to cover up, and then to follow it up with the, I'm doing it for you.
For you.
I'm doing it for you. Why don't you do it for me? Man, I don't get violent with people, but during those times, I was on the cusp of violence with people. And I'm not a very intimidating guy, and in fact, if I did try to get violent with anyone, I would probably be the one in the hospital.
Well, just make sure it's a girl under 14. You are a
that's my target audience with that kind of whole thing.
I told the story. I'll never forget that first winter when I'm standing on the corner and it's freezing cold and we're all wearing masks. I'm on a corner in downtown Chicago. We're all wearing masks, and you see all of our breath just leaving. You know what I mean? Because it's cold, so you can just see everybody's breath leaving. Their mask, and we're all being. It's like, dude, this. And we have to look around and pretend like we don't notice. You know what I mean?
I mean, it was the Orwell effect, dude. It was this whole thing where the government is telling you 2 + 2 = 5, and you're surrounded by people repeating it.
Yeah.
As if it's fact, and you are the 20% of the people around, and you're like, no, it equals 4. This is insane. You people are insane. You've lost your mind,
dude. What's that famous study with the lines? You heard about that?
I'm not familiar with the line study.
There's the study where they bring in a group of people. You go in with a group of people, and you don't know that everybody else is an actor. Right?
All right, yeah.
And then they show you 3 lines, clearly different sizes, from smaller to bigger.
Right.
And then they ask you which one is the biggest. And they go around the room, and every person says the smallest line is the biggest one. And then
the actors. Right.
And then it gets to you, and they said most people will just go with the crowd and say that it's this, they just follow the crowd.
Obviously, and you're talking about the Ash conformity experiments.
Yeah.
Often called the Ash line studies. And it was in 1950, psychologist Solomon Ash conducted a series of experiments to test how social pressure from a group influences individual judgment and conformity. They were showed the card with the single line reference like you were talking about. 75% of the participants conformed.
I had it wrong. They did 2 lines that were identical, right?
Participants were shown a card with a single reference line. They were then shown another card with 3 lines of different lengths. One clearly matching the reference card.
That's what it was.
The others obviously different. The real participant was placed in a group of 6 to 8 Confederates. Everyone was asked aloud which line matched the reference. The Confederates would deliberately give the wrong answer on certain critical trials. 75% of the participants conformed to the incorrect group answer at least once. On average, participants conformed about 1/3 of the critical trials. That is crazy,
How scary is that, though?
Yes.
That should scare. That's why we don't have a full democracy, mob rule. You know what I mean? That's why you can't trust the mob.
Totally, man. Yes.
Isn't that a scary experiment?
And it's 1/3, and there you go. That's your 1/3 for each political party, by the way. That's your 1/3 of the Democrats and your 1/3 of the diehard QAnon MAGA, right? You've got your 1/3 on each side, and so there you have it. The diehards, the 1/3 that will, even when they know they're wrong, they'll just rah their way through it, man. Wow, that's so creepy, dude. Holy cow.
It's the world we're living in.
Great Great stuff, Mike. Good moment to take a break. It's the fastest hour in the universe. I want to remind everyone out there. Holy cow. We still got so much to get to, man. Did we do UFOs? We probably won't even talk about the UFOs. It's the lamest story out there this year. But we got a lot to go through. Mike, I got a guy, his mask malfunctioning on Fox News, man. It's amazing to watch. Yeah, of course.
I knew you were going to clip it. I saw it. I don't even have to say anything.
Oh, it's the first thing I had, man.
I knew it, dude.
We got some CIA mask exposure going on. And then also, we got to talk about a phenomenon that is getting worse and worse. And it's hitting home to you, I know. And I think I'm seeing some of it here in Denver. Teen takeovers. It's the new summer of love. I'm telling you. We'll hit it on the flip side along with some other great stuff.
I heard this song on the radio the other day, and I laughed so hard. There's one part in this song that has been making me laugh for like 26 years. It is it's probably the greatest line ever put in a song ever. And I'm hoping you can figure out which line I'm talking about.
I'm really excited for this one. This is a challenge and a half. Hell yeah, man. Folks, thanks for tuning in, hanging out, enjoying the good times, great olds. We'll see you on the flip side. No way.
There's a real funny line in the middle.
Tell me what you want. I want a brand new house on an episode of Cribs and a bathroom I can play baseball in, and a king size tub big enough for 10 plus me. So what you need? I'll need a credit card that's got no limit and a big black chain with a bedroom in it. Gonna join the Mile High Club at 37,000 feet. Been done. I want a new tour bus full of old guitars, Mount Star on Hollywood Boulevard. Somewhere between Cher and James Dean is fine for me. So how you gonna do it? I'm gonna trade this life for fortune and fame. I'd even cut my hair and change my name. Cause we all just wanna be big rock stars and live in hilltop houses, driving 15 cars. The girls come easy and the drugs come cheap. Well, I'll stay skinny cause we just won't eat. And we'll hang out in the coolest bars in the VIP with the movie stars. Every good gold digger's gonna wind up there. Every playboy bunny with a bleached blonde hair. And well, hey, I wanna be a rock star. Hey, I wanna be a rock star. I wanna be great like Elvis without the tassels. Hire 8 bodyguards that love to beat up assholes. Sign a couple autographs so I can eat my meals for free. I have a quesadilla. I'm gonna dress my ass with the latest fashion. Get a front door key to the Playboy Mansion. Gonna date a Santa phone that loves to blow my money for me. So how you gonna do it? I'm gonna trade this life for fortune and fame. I'd even cut my hair and change my name. Cause we all just wanna be big rock stars and live in hilltop houses, driving 15 cars. The girls come easy and the drugs come cheap. Well, I'll stay skinny cause we just won't eat. And we'll hang out in the coolest bars in the VIP with the movie stars. Every good gold digger's gonna wind up there. Every playboy bunny with a bleached blonde hair. And we'll hide out in the private rooms with the latest dictionary of today's who's who. They'll get you anything with that evil smile. Everybody's got a drug dealer on speed dial. Well, hey, I wanna be a rock star. I'm gonna sing those songs that offend the senses. Gonna buy my pills from a best dispenser. Get washed up singers writing all my songs. Lip sync them every night so I don't get them wrong. Well, we all just wanna be big rock stars and live in hilltop houses, driving 15 cars. The girls come easy and the drugs come cheap. We'll all stay skinny cause we just won't eat. And we'll hang out in the coolest bars in the VIP with the movie stars. Every good gold digger's gonna wind up there. Every playboy bunny with a bleached blonde hair. And we'll hide out in the private The latest dictionary in today's zoo. They'll get you anything with that evil smile. Everybody's got a drug dealer on speed dial. Well, hey, I wanna be a rock star. Hey, I wanna be a rock star.
Yeah, all right, man. Being the rock star, dude. Yeah. All right. So, the one word that tickled my fancy was he mentioned something about a quesadilla there in the middle.
That's the funniest, bro, the funniest line in music history, dude. So, the hype man in the bag, right?
Yeah.
He's like, I want a house with old guitars. Oh yeah, how you gonna do it? I'm gonna ride to the top on this horse. Oh, and how you gonna get it? And then at one point he's like, sign these autographs to get my meals for free. I'll take the quesadilla.
Excuse me?
Like, what? How is that even in the song? I'll have the quesadilla.
I'll tell you what. So, back when I was in my band days, the Joint Chiefs of Staff, for anyone curious out there, I'm sure you can find us maybe somewhere out there. But we had a great song called Space Station, one of our all-time classics, a tune Jack and I wrote together. And one of our first live shows, we played at the Mellis 4th of July Festival.
Oh, yeah.
It was a great show. It was a lot of fun, and we were able to set up a little recording device, and we recorded from the sound stage. All right. And so the recording it's one of our best first recordings we had. And folks, this is 20 years ago.
Oh, people don't realize that
we didn't. You didn't even have MP3 players at this time. Like, no,
there was no garage band.
Our demo, we recorded on a cassette recorder. We recorded our demo on a cassette. Yeah, I know, it's crazy. That was the technology we had. So we had a device that it cost us a fortune. We bought it online, or I can't remember where we got it, from one of the Guitar Centers, and we were able to hook it up to the soundboard at Mellis Park for their festival. And this fat, grumpy, bearded, disgusting sound guy who hated his life.
Engineer,
was just like, what? Yeah, give it to me. And he like plugged it in, like cranked open another beer, didn't care. And for us, it was like our whole lives mattered, but this recording was everything, Anyways,
so funny.
During the show, the guy very amateurishly hooked up the device. So during our recording, we can hear everything the guy was saying to one of the other dudes in the tent with him. And so during the recording, at certain gaps on the song Space Station, you can hear the guy be like, gotta get it up. Come on down. And he's like he's doing instructions to the other sound guy to like set stuff up. And he's like, just around the corner. Like random stuff that doesn't make any sense, but it's coming through very vividly on the recording, right? Nonsensical, very vivid words coming in the gaps of our song. And Jack and I loved it. And so when we went into a studio to record our material, we added some of the crap that guy said in that live recording. I said it in the microphone in the recording studio.
Hilarious.
We added it to the song. Nonsensical, ridiculous. But when we heard the live playback, we're like, it weirdly sounds kind of good having those random words thrown in there. And so we kept it, and that became part of our final CD. And so I think maybe that happens a lot more than people realize. Like some element enters the song on some level when the band is playing, and they're like, that's ridiculous and a mistake. Yeah. Oh no, keep it in. I kind of like that.
Great.
So the dude
did you
probably
hear Eric say he wanted a quesadilla?
That's what I'm saying. Maybe keep it in, dude. The quesadilla, that's gold, dude.
Maybe his homeboy was just like in the booth, like, oh yeah, how you gonna get it? How you gonna get
that's
it?
That's what I'm saying.
I'll take the quesadilla.
That's right, dude. That's what I'm saying. They were probably playing it live at their Mellis festival, and some sound fat dude in the engineering tent is like, give me a quesadilla, and it got on the track, and they're like, yeah, keep that in there. That's gold, man. Yes. So I think there's an element
all time though, right? I'll have the quesadilla. That's like, how did that even end up in a song? And this was for people that don't know, this was like a number one back in the day,
right? Yeah, no, it was, Warren Zevon has that "Werewolves of London" song. You're familiar with it. Everyone knows "Werewolves of London."
Great tune.
Well, he's got a line in there where he says he sees the guy, the Werewolf of London, and he says his hair was perfect. It's one of my favorite lines in any song. It's like, his hair was perfect. It's like such a great line. I don't know why, man.
It makes it more believable.
Yeah, the werewolf.
Because you like,
you would have.
obviously, if this werewolf walks up to me and he's got perfect hair, I'm gonna mention it. I'm gonna mention, especially a bald guy. You know what I mean? You're gonna be like, before you eat me, that hair, man.
Wow, so funny. Well, it's tough being a rocker or a celebrity these days. Rarely do you hear any celebrity now talking about food on any level because none of them are eating anymore. I'm like, they're all on Ozempic, bro. It's unbelievable these days. And I definitely...
My back? Oh, no, we got the trifold.
We're try brothers.
Trifolded.
Let's see here. I brought him in.
Oh, shit.
Oh, it should work on some level.
Try folding. You want me to refresh?
Let me see what I can do here. Do all three of us pop in when I do this? Well, Mike's going to refresh to be fresh here. But while he does that, what I was discussing is the difficulty these days in being just a... let me go out to our main screen here. We're going to do a quick main screen. But to be a rocker or a rock star, if you will, or to be anyone in the celebrity world or of celebrity status, it seems like regardless of where you're at in the celebrity world, you are hooked on the Ozempic, my man, or at the very least, celebrities are now clearly getting behind the idea that big is no longer beautiful. We have officially dropped the big is beautiful idea and concept, and we're now we're back to the 90s. Mike and I grew up in the 90s when Calvin Klein and all those advertisements for clothing and lingerie, they had heroin level models, basically skin and bones individuals who were barely physically there. That was sexy and attractive in the 90s. That eventually led down the way towards Lizzo, believe it or not. We went from heroin models to Lizzo, right? Because I think Victoria's Secret had an ad famously maybe a couple of years ago where it was like 3 fat tranny chicks, lady fellas, 4. It was like a new woke DEI woke Victoria's Secret, if I recall correctly. And I think that might have been the apex of where of the big is beautiful Victoria's Secret. Let's see if I can get that on there. And I'm looking for it. It's funny when you just do woke DEI. Yeah, they don't like it. I might have to do... I don't want to disparage, but I was going to go with the fat Victoria's Secret. And they went that route. Okay, so either way, the big is beautiful is gone, and now we are in the world of... it's possible I completely lost Mike, actually. This rarely happens. He's faded into oblivion here. It's the internet connection. Here we got a storm going on, but I don't know how that would affect Mike's connection. Either way, big, no longer beautiful. Everyone's going down the O train, and that also includes people, I guess, not going down the O train. So, it still considers Mike here. This is craziness. Mindy Kaling, I don't know if anyone remembers. She's the gal from The Office. Funny lady. Now making waves because she's lost a tremendous amount of weight, claiming that it was all about food choices and dieting and all that stuff. And she's a little bit, I guess, bummed out by the fact that people don't believe her. And that the issue is now, even if you genuinely lose the weight, no one believes you're doing it the actual genuine way. Honestly, they pretty much assume that you are taking the O and cheating. And that's what I think is going on here. The only gauge now we have, basically, for whether or not you're genuinely working out or you're on the O train is how you compare to the women of the View. I think if the women of the View with their facial structure matches your structure, and you know what I'm saying, it's the cheek area. You get that O face, they're calling it, where the cheeks bend over, flap over, take over the whole face, and then everything sinks and flattens away. So I think that's what's going on here. I think he's back. Is he there? Is it you? Is it me? I got nothing. He's still. It still thinks there's like a bunch of us on here, Mike. I don't know. I can't even hear you, actually. That's what's so crazy. Yeah, I have no idea what's going on here. I blame Mike. I blame his technology. Should I refresh? I could do the refresh. I could refresh us all around. We got nothing from Mike. I mean, if we refresh, I don't know what'll happen with the whole thing. It might.
There we go. Hey,
all right,
now,
nice.
Hey.
Wow, I don't understand how this keeps happening with us. And
now there's four of us.
It thinks there's a.
It thinks there's another one in here. Yeah, there you go.
There we go. There we go. And I'm going here. Hold on. I'm going to figure this out. All right. And we're back. All right. Nice.
All right.
Did you catch anything I was talking about with Mandy? Do you remember this chick from The Office?
Oh, yeah. What happened to her?
She's on the O train, man. And she's claiming that she's getting a lot of bad vibes from
Oh, my God. They split her in two. Where's the other one? Jesus
I'm telling you.
Christ.
So the problem is that she's saying, hey, I'm getting all this flack online because people are claiming I'm taking the O. And it's like, dude, you're taking the O. We all know what's going on here. It's obvious. You could. Nobody rapidly loses weight like that. If you lose weight, you get into shape when you do it. So you get the, you know what I'm saying? You get the muscles.
Especially if you were like a girl like her. Look, go back to that. She should have huge tits.
Right. Oh, I never even actually thought about that. You're right.
Who start exercising, they end up having huge tits. Look at that.
Everything is shrunken away.
Her tits are melting. Her arms are melting. The big girls, they always maintain the bigger arms, the tits. She's losing it all over.
Like I said, while you were kind of transitioning and trying to figure out your whole situation there.
I know, tranny. What are you talking about?
Sorry, lady fellow over here. That's right, man. Hanging out. No, I think our metric now, because I feel bad for everybody who genuinely loses weight. So what we need to do is have a comparison, like a chart. And what we need to do is just have the woman of the View, right? You can compare your face to the ladies of the View.
Good call.
How do you look compared to Whoopi? Do you got the Whoopi face going on? If you got the Whoopi face going on, you're on the O, right?
We'll do the L Sharpton scale.
The L Sharpton, yes, exactly.
I mean, there's a head to body ratio. Like, I don't know. She's on it. 100%. She's on it.
Yeah, totally. No, I feel bad for people genuinely losing the weight and then having to turn around and be like, no, I'm not the Ozempic.
But I'm not even mad at her. Like, dude, you're in Hollywood. I get it.
It's part of the gig, man. You got to do it, right? Yeah,
that'd be absolutely. Like, it's like when you see a plumber with great hair. It's like, oh, what the fuck is this? What are you doing?
How's this even possible?
You should see my whole company is bald.
Really?
Not everybody, but like even the ones that have hair, most of them are balding.
Right.
I've had a couple of guys, like the engineers, they'll say it, like, do you have to be bald to be a plumber? I always say just to be a good one.
Yeah, there you go. Well, to fit into the tight spots, right? That's you got to be slick, right? All right, Mike. Well, we're moving along. Before I lose you, I think I want to touch base on one of the topics really kind of sweeping the waves out there, or the interwebs, if you will. The teen takeovers, man. What is going on with these teen takeovers? So we've been following these for a little while because, would you say like 2-3 years ago, it was a major thing in downtown Chicago, especially during the
it never
Lori
went away.
Lightfoot.
Yeah, it never went away.
I thought it had stopped because I hadn't heard anything about these things for a long time. But
they just stopped reporting on them, but they keep doing it.
All right.
It's a big thing to like storm 7-Eleven and shit.
Yeah, these things are getting super viral or violent. Apparently, they're like throwing chairs.
Dude, so they had one last night or so far this weekend. 21 people have been shot. 5 cops were run over.
Wow.
In the city of Chicago.
That. Yeah,
and
man.
We're not even done with the weekend yet.
That's right. There's massive violence going on in Chicago for Memorial Day. This happens every year. We cover it
every year.
Constantly. It's the Memorial Day and the Labor Day and the 4th of July Day weekend. There's just rampant violence around the city of Chicago, and I'm sure most major cities.
Tell me, okay, I gotta tell you something, man. You gotta tell me if I'm crazy. Yesterday, Friday, I had to go to an emergency. It was the worst possible emergency ever. Friday before Memorial Day, the restaurant at the Bean.
The Bean, yeah. Oh, we went to that restaurant actually. Yes,
the Millennium, whatever.
Yes,
restaurant. It's in Millennium Park.
Right.
So the drains they're in the parking garage, right? Underneath. Yeah. So we're working on the drains underneath, and then now I got to go into the restaurant to take a picture, test the line, whatever. Bro, I can't get into the park.
All right.
They won't let me in the park.
Millennium Park.
They got security. They put these barricades so you can only go through this one entrance. Frank, they got park security, private armed security, and CPD at the entrance. And you got to go through a metal detector. And they were like, whoa, they wouldn't let me in. And I'm covered in shit at this point. Grease from clearing. I'm working on the sewer underground. I'm trying to tell the guy, I just need to go in there and take a picture. They're telling me, well, maybe, he's like, take everything out of your pockets. Maybe you could leave it all here. And I'm talking about like a flashlight, dude.
Wow.
And then he looks down and he's like, you got steel-toed boots? Nah. Frank.
Really?
When were you never able to get into Millennium Park? I don't remember ever having to go through security.
That's crazy, dude. That's honestly
crazy. Do you ever remember having to go through a metal detector to get it? I was like...
We were just there 2 years ago.
I was trying to explain to this guy, when I was in the Army, when I went to airborne school, we would go on the weekend to Atlanta to party. And when you went to Atlanta, it would be like a street with bars. There'd be like a strip of bars, like a couple blocks. They would just close off the whole street. The cops would. And then you would have to walk through a metal detector to get onto the street.
All right.
And I remember telling everybody I was with, I was like, I've never had to do this in Chicago. This is why Chicago is so much better. This is a shithole city. I remember telling guys, this is how you know you live in a shit. People would always talk, because people were telling me how great Atlanta was, and I was like, no, this is a shit. Yeah, we're having fun, but we had to walk through metal detectors. That means you're in a shitty city with shitty people who might bring guns and shoot you. That's why, right?
For sure.
We don't have cops and metal detectors at Millennium Park because the people of Chicago are so wonderful. Right? Yes. Because they're such fine, upstanding citizens, right? No, it's because the city is now a shitty city full of garbage people, and you voted for this shit. Everybody who had any common sense left, and now this is what we're left with. This is why Chicago sucks now.
So this is a scene from Chicago. There looks like some sort of
lower
fire has been lit. There's a guy with a machine gun, it looks like, or some sort of assault rifle.
Airsoft.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah, he's shooting the crowd.
Yeah, he's shooting people, and
they're doing donuts around a fire that they set on Lower Wacker.
This is like the opening sequence to Dark Knight with Christian Bale, I believe, where he takes on the thugs, right? Like, look at this, dude. We need a Batman in Chicago right now.
You know what really blew my mind about this video, though? I got to tell you this. Like 2 weeks ago, we had to do a job on where we had to park on Lower Wacker. I was supposed to meet 3 apprentices. It took an hour and a half just to get everybody onto the road and where we needed to be. I'm
at
amazed
this,
they're able to
man.
get this many people under there. You know,
This is out of a movie. This is crazy. So there's this new trend spreading across the country called teen takeovers. It's not new in my book, but according to the legacy media, it's new. We've been following this in Chicago for some time now. They've gotten a little bit more chaotic and violent since a few years ago.
Because you're not stopping them.
Right.
They get more and more emboldened as you let it go on. The cops show up and they arrest 3 people. Everybody else goes on their way. Of course, you're going to keep doing it.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy stuff, and it's going viral right now. There are large groups of juveniles overwhelming malls,
Hold on, no,
beaches,
this
piers.
is what pisses me off the most. They keep saying teen takeover.
Right.
But then you watch these videos. Some of these fucking dudes are our age. They're like they're in their 30s, dude. Grown ass men.
Yeah, so you're expecting teenagers, but you're getting 40-year-olds,
Teen
basically.
Takeover, I'm expecting teenagers. You're 28 years old. You're a grown man. You shouldn't be running around vandalizing the streets at midnight. You should be in bed getting ready for work.
We live in an era of arrested development, man. I mean, right now, you know what I mean?
100%.
Adults are children fully. I was seeing all this backlash online to, what's it called? The show The Boys. I know Tony, our brother, is a huge fan of The Boys. Did you see they had the finale for The Boys?
I haven't watched the last season. I did like the first.
Yeah,
few,
I saw 1 or 2 of these during the pandemic. I remember when I had a lot of time to watch TV, and I liked it. It was a violent, realistic version of superheroes and all this stuff.
That's
it
why
was
I liked
funny.
it. Yeah, I thought that was a
It was
very
cool.
realistic, like Superman.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Apparently, everyone's they're really stoked about this finale where Homelander, the guy who apparently MAGA people were really into this guy, he ends up dying in the end, and it's very embarrassing and humiliating. And he like begs for mercy and claims he'll give fellatio to the guy, and apparently the whole thing was to embarrass MAGA people for making this guy their hero and all this stuff. And it was supposed to be a left wing, like, ha ha, kind of in your face to the MAGA world with this finale. And all I could think of is like, who are you 40-year-olds out there who were like hanging on this finale for The Boys? We need World War III. We need the draft right now.
Yes.
We have too many grown men focused on The Boys, a superhero show on TV, and sticking it to Trump and all this stuff. You guys have nothing to worry about. You have no real problems in your life. We are a soft society living in a soft world. We're about to make it hard. Let's just get on with it now. Start the World War III.
Start the war.
Get the draft on. Men in this country need something to do. I'm telling you right now.
Dude, I don't know if you saw this. They just sentenced the guy. Did you see the guy in Chicago that hit the ICE officers with the SUV?
Is this a new thing? I had no idea, man.
Yeah, nobody talked about it.
Holy cow.
It was a while back. Dude, this guy.
Oh, okay. This happened like during the Alex Preddy time or whatever.
Yeah.
Right.
But remember how remember those officers killed that lady and everybody was saying they overreacted?
Yes.
Well, apparently it was like right around that time. There's a video of this dude. They released it. They were trying to do an arrest and he drove this like Tahoe into these officers and almost killed one of them.
Insane, man.
Yeah. But all I could think is the guy got 30 years or some shit like that. It's like, dude, what is wrong with you?
That's the TDS, man. That's what I don't think people understand, the power of the Trump derangement syndrome.
But to get like a felony to go to prison over it?
What would people lost their lives over, dude? Alex Preddy, because of his Trump derangement syndrome, decided one day, I'm going to double strap some heat to this 9mm. And I'm going to go to this protest and start a fight with some federal agents. That's what he thought. He thought that was a good idea. But that's what happened, though. That's literally what happened. A maniac packed a 9mm, went to a protest on a random street on a random day and picked a fight with federal agents, and he died. Okay? For nothing, by the way. For no reason.
And then he was just forgotten. You're just forgotten.
He will be forgotten. In the annals of history, his life was for naught. Everything. And again, that chick, that fat lesbian who decided to push the gas. I'm not saying she tried to kill that ICE agent. The details of that scene don't matter anymore. The bottom line is her Trump derangement syndrome and the propaganda from legacy media and the chicks at The View and all the people on TV and MSNBC and Morning Joe and all these assholes convinced this lady she was righteous and a revolutionary, and she needed to go there and be on the front lines of some fictitious war that didn't actually exist. And then she died. She got shot, and no one will be held accountable for her murder, by the way. Everyone will walk free from that, and no one will remember her name. I don't remember her name. I call her the fat lesbian chick who drove into the ice guy.
I always just remember Pretty Good.
Wow,
she was good.
Weird. The only one who will remember either of those individuals will be anyone attending Bruce Springsteen's concerts for $3,500 a ticket right now, because he has to break into his song that he wrote.
Born to Run was on the radio this morning. Great jazz.
I love the boss, dude.
He had a girl in Saigon. I mean, come on. This guy.
No, but the Trump derangement syndrome is really funny to me because I noticed something this week that people didn't know how to really handle, and it was an interesting moment. Were you following Mark Cuban this week at all?
No, not this week. I did like how he signed that bill with Trump, though, and it's my whole thing with Trump and everybody who says, like, if you talk to our parents, people that follow the same stuff as our parents, they talk about Trump as if he was the divider. Trump came in and he divided. Frank, he's the one that divided this nation, right?
Yes.
But then he's out there joking about how Mark Cuban supported Kamala Harris and went out there talking about how Donald Trump was going to destroy democracy in America as we know it. A year later, they're signing a deal together, and Trump's joking about how, everybody makes mistakes. You know what I mean? Like, on the flip side, name one person Joe Biden with that backed Trump.
Yeah, man.
Right?
Absolutely.
Name one Republican that Joe Biden brought into his cabinet.
It forever escapes everyone out there, but RFK Jr., the Maha movement, he's a Democrat. Yes, Democrat.
Yes, like, dude, name one, you know what I mean? He's way more bipartisan than Joe Biden ever was.
Absolutely. No, I think I'm a huge fan of this. It gets zero play because it's a good thing, and the legacy media wants you to focus on all the bad stuff. But in a notable political crossover, like you mentioned, Mark Cuban joined Trump to promote the expansion of TrumpRx.gov, a site listing affordable prescription drugs through private partners, including Cuban's Cost Plus Drugs company. This is all despite Cuban's past sharp criticism of Trump, as you mentioned, and his endorsement of Kamala Harris in 2024. Hilariously, Trump joked that it was a big mistake. Cuban emphasized the bipartisan need for lower drug prices and later avoided questions about his political views. This is what I want people to understand with Trump and with Mark Cuban and with Jeff Bezos and all these other billionaires and Musk and everybody, which is, this guy's a businessman,
businessman.
And he's making deals, dude. That was why everyone was excited about him coming into office, because Joe Biden talked about opening the border and flooding us with migrants and doing DEI across all the corporations in America. That was the opposite of opening the doors for business, honestly.
No, but it wasn't even that. It was like, these guys understand, the real businessmen understand nuance.
Yes.
Mark Cuban is like, he doesn't agree with anything Trump has to say about border and taxes and ICE, right? But
Absolutely.
he's right about lower prescriptions. So I'm going to work with him on the lower prescriptions. With the Democrats, it's like, oh, you don't believe girls can compete with men in sports? Well, then we can't have any deal. There's no computer chips. There's no, you know what I mean? It's like things that aren't even related. You know what I mean? These guys are able to just compartmentalize and be like, dude, I don't have to agree with you 100% on everything, but me and you agree on the prescription drugs, and we could both work to make this work.
Absolutely. No, I totally agree. Part of this partnership too, which kind of got buried in the headlines, was it was the Cost Plus Drugs company of Cuban that Cuban owns, and then Amazon Pharmacy is tied into this, which is Jeff Bezos. And so there,
of course, the CIA is getting their cut. Dude, come on.
I know, well, dude. I know it's billionaires and all this stuff, but here's the thing that gets me about this, which is you got Trump bringing together billionaires to make prescription drugs more affordable, straight out of Mein Kampf.
I mean, Hitler.
Dude, bro, this is the Hitler playbook, bro.
Grow the mustache.
Set up your concentration camps now, bro. Just stop trying to hide it. We see what's going on here.
It's times like this we really need Antifa, because this is the most fascist shit I've ever seen.
But what kills me is this is I think a peek behind the curtain, and shame on you, Mark Cuban, for playing along with the entertainment that is politics. What people with Trump derangement syndrome right now, the voters, the regular people who watch Morning Joe and all this stuff, what people don't understand is when it comes to politics, you're watching WWE.
It's WWE.
These people go into the ring, they throw the chair around, they act like they're mortal enemies, but then they go in backstage and they have a drink and a laugh together and talk about how successful the entertainment was. Trump is an entertainer. All these people are entertainers. Mark Cuban's an entertainer, quite literally a reality TV show guy, just like Trump. And yeah, they went head-to-head during the election in 2024. The other guy even voted for the black chick, right? They were totally against each other. But then here they are, a year later, they're laughing and yucking away on stage, shaking hands, cutting deals, making each other money, and boosting each other's popularity.
You didn't read later in the article, Cuban is quoted as saying, "Well, I didn't know Trump was also going to invade Iran."
Right.
I just wanted to invade Iran and make some money. I didn't know.
I didn't know he'd be so bipartisan, right?
I didn't know our interests aligned.
I cannot stress it up. Isn't it weird how the Iran thing doesn't...
Like, no matter what, we invaded Iran. It pisses me
I know.
off.
That's what I'm saying, dude.
No matter who you voted for, we were going into Iran.
It doesn't matter. No, I say it. I said it before, and I'll say it again. The only difference between Trump and Kamala is the dude or the women don't have penises. That's the whole difference, right?
Which I'm gonna take as a win. That's a huge.
It's a huge
win.
W.
It's a huge win.
But ultimately, you nailed it. Which is the sad tragedy of this. Cuban, Trump secretly actually being business buddies, and they hang out at the same social engagements, and these people are on the same circles. They're all friends. They are the 1%. At the same time, Alex Preddy and Renee Good, you guys bought into this WWE show so hard that you risked your lives and
You're the
got
useful
killed.
Idiots, man. You were the useful idiots.
Killed. Yes. You were such a fanboy of the WWE that is our modern politics. You went out there and you got yourself killed. And so that's the tragedy of all of this, unfortunately, man. It's crazy. I wish people could just see, like, past this, he's Hitler and it's the end of democracy. We're at an existential crisis in our lives. Anytime a politician says it's an existential crisis, they're lying to you. That's a lie. And you know how I'm right about that? Because they told you for 40 years, our whole lifetime, the existential crisis of our lives, a reason we shouldn't have kids, a reason we should just give up on living in general. Climate change, Mike. Oh my God. The climate's going to change so much that we might as well just kill ourselves now, bro. Why would we? I think it was AOC who said we had till 2024, or Greta Thunberg who made some claim, and then the date passed, and she said, well, I can't do that grift anymore. Hand me that Kafifa. Let me try that for a little while here.
Dude, AOC, there was a video going around, her grilling the Bayer guy. So
really
Bayer
interesting.
owns, what do you call it? Roundup?
Right. Yes.
Dude, apparently they paid off the regulators to approve Roundup usage right before harvest. And they did that because farmers liked it because it would dry up the plant and make it easier to harvest. The problem is they would process the wheat, and then we were eating glyphosate, which is like the most poison. And apparently the whole thing of, you know how we always joke about gluten allergy and everything, and like that was a rich white girl thing, and it's really only in America and not Africa. Well, it's because Africans aren't eating glyphosate.
Yeah, the glyphosate in the wheat. Yes.
The real allergy is the Roundup.
Right.
I don't know. She went on this, she like really grilled them. Got to give her credit.
I do, because Trump actually, against the Maha movement, basically okayed glyphosate in our food.
It's crazy.
That's
RFK,
awful.
where were you on this one, guy?
I mean,
thanks for the red dye and the Skittles.
I know,
but the glyphosate.
I know. When they say, I was listening to a guy on Alex Jones the other day, he was claiming that the glyphosate, actually, when it's in our system, it makes us more susceptible to a lot of the stuff they're spraying in the chemtrails, the aluminum particulates, and all these other things that they're poisoning us with in our water, in our air, and then all the extra stuff in our food. The glyphosate breaks down our immune systems and makes us more susceptible to these diseases, essentially.
It's not good for you, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, and they really want us to take it. Anything that's not good for us, you notice our government really wants us to take it. They were very upset when...
They spray it on everything.
I've never seen a more visceral, intense reaction ever when it comes to nutrition than when RFK flipped the food pyramid. They lost their freaking minds over that. It was like so obvious, though, that you should flip that food pyramid. And dude... Ever since then, it's like, oh, you listen to the guy with brain worms? This guy's nuts, man. Yeah.
No, but you got to think about the whole thing in America is we're like, we got this poison. It's terrible for humans. Glyphosate. But we want to spray it on plants because it's good for weeds because it kills everything. Well, how are you not going to kill the crop? We're going to genetically modify the crop so that it... We're going to genetically modify the wheat so that it doesn't die by this poison so that we could spray it with poison and then feed it to the humans. Okay. And then this guy over in Europe, Putin, says, I'm going to go to battle for this land because my people, they rely on that food, and I don't want your genetically modified poisoned food. And we are like, that guy's Hitler. We need to go kill him. he is the most evil man in the world. We need to kill him.
Wait, are you hinting at the idea that Putin invaded Ukraine to stop the globalist New World Order from poisoning the wheat supply in Europe?
He cited it in one of his first speeches when he invaded Ukraine, and everybody poo-poo. Remember, I talked about it on here many times where I said, that's where I came up with the idea that we need to have nuance in this world. Putin is an evil murderer. He murdered thousands of innocent civilians while they slept.
KGB.
He murdered thousands of people while they slept in their apartment buildings. They bombed the buildings in order to blame it on a terrorist organization so that he could then take power of the government and run Russia.
That literally a playbook out of Mein Kampf, though. That's
terrible, evil, very bad man.
Right, yeah.
Also right about the food.
He's right about the GMOs.
He's right about, I'm just saying, you could be, Adolf Hitler, one of the worst men in the world, also loved dogs. I'm just saying. Maybe he was right about the dogs, not everything else. Well, maybe Putin's right about the food.
But with that, though, Putin is declaring then by anti-GMO, anti-New World Order poisoning, he's saying, my enemy is Bill Gates. And so
100%.
If my enemy's enemy is also my enemy, then my enemy is my partner.
The enemy of my enemy is my friend.
Yes.
And Bill Gates is everybody's enemy.
Bill Gates is the enemy of the world, is what I'm trying to say. Yeah.
No, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. No, that was Putin. They do not allow GMOs in Russia.
It's the pseudoscience of the modern era. It's this voodoo science.
He said this whole thing where it was like, because he was making fun of us.
Right. I remember this.
In America, if you have an apple that is essentially just a natural apple, it gets like 20 labels. Non-GMO, you know what I mean?
Right.
Organic, non-GMO. It used to just be called an apple. You guys fucked with all these other apples that now the regular apple has to be like 6 labels.
I have to find all these different directions to prove to me this is a natural apple versus anything else you're creating. Yes. Voodoo science all the way. We've been lied to this whole time with everything, including the climate change. I have to throw this out there. It's unbelievable that they're just quietly talking about this. Where is Al Gore right now? Mike, he doesn't want to talk about how we're treating the atmosphere like an open sewer because his companies are doing it with the chemtrails. I'm telling you right now. You can
already tell the narrative failed. They're already starting to blame it on black guys.
That's no, dude. I'm telling you, this is the problem with DEI everything, where you replace everything is black guys. So now, when I turn on the TV and I watch a commercial, only black people eat fast food. It seems like they're a very unhealthy race. It's only black people eating McDonald's and Burger King and Wendy's. Like, I don't see any white people eating this stuff.
You guys went so diverse that now even the murderer is a gay black. It's like
That's what I'm saying. Like, all the worst people now it's all black people now, man.
Full circle.
It's full circle with this. So unbelievable. Even the Associated Press had to admit to it, but new scientific assessments indicate that the most extreme worst case scenarios for global warming are becoming less probable due to shifts in emissions and policies, they're saying.
Just because of
even with Trump. Well, no, they're cutting back on the chemtrails. They're like, wow, you can breathe the air now. It's amazing.
It's so funny.
No, the chemtrails have been full on here in Colorado, but so experts warn that the opportunity for the most optimistic lower warming outcomes are also fading as progress on the emissions reduces because of the Trump administration. But they are updating their projections, and they are highlighting a narrowing window for avoiding significant long-term climate risks and
you know what this means?
Catastrophic
This is where you need a chart to picture this, right? Because you would have had like 3 lines. One very extreme high, one very extreme low, and then one in the middle. And pretty much what they're saying is no matter what we do, we're going to stay in the middle.
Yes.
It's not going to be an extreme either way. We can't do anything.
It's crazy, Mike. When you apply science, it looks like the temperature and the climate is average. I don't know. It's like totally nuts.
Yeah, I love it.
I talked about it a couple of weeks ago, but I do think there's a lot behind that lawsuit that's going on here in Boulder with NOAA and CU, the University of Colorado, which is they buried and destroyed data that proved climate change wasn't actually happening. And they did that in order to continue their geoengineering, weather modification, climate change operations.
I
because there's profits to be made on that.
This is where it gets... They didn't prove climate change is not happening. They proved the climate is changing.
Yes.
Within normal patterns.
Right.
Unaffected by humans.
Yes, thank you. That's great call. Absolutely.
Because the climate is always changing.
And I would argue on top of this that any extreme climate changes that we have seen in our lifetimes have been due to geoengineering and weather modification
100%.
Practices by our government.
If anything, they've had more of an effect.
I believe they are whipping up those massive hurricanes when they want some massive hurricanes, or they'll increase the heat here and decrease it here, create a wind tunnel, and just rock the central Bible Belt there with some tornadoes. Like, I think they can do that kind of stuff, honestly. And they need destruction and mayhem. They need August Dorico to go out there with his tiny little canister to explode in the air, and then they flood out Texas and kill a bunch of schoolgirls.
Kill a bunch of girls. They love killing
climate
the girls.
Change, man.
They love killing schoolgirls. Whether it's American, Iranian.
It was climate change, man. Well, speaking of climate change, they're going to continue going down climate change with emerging viruses and the future pandemic that they are just so dead set on unleashing upon us. Mike, Ebola, dude. I didn't have this one on my board here. I didn't think this would be the one.
You didn't
honestly.
bet on the poly market on this one, dude.
You know what? It was we got to look into what's Fauci been betting on poly market these days. I think is what we need to look into.
I don't think Fauci has stopped running for the last fucking year,
dude. Honestly, man, he's been awfully quiet, which means he's been working. So Ebola, folks, coming out of Central Africa, they're calling it the perfect storm. They're saying there's over 600 suspected cases, 140 suspected deaths. It's coming out of the Northeast Democratic Republic of Congo, which also happens to be in the midst of a raging civil war, which we'll talk about Ebola, but nobody wants to talk about the civil war going on in Sudan and the Democratic Republic of Congo.
I just wanted to bring, I was literally psycho. I just watched this thing on South Sudan. That is...
No, it's a genocide.
It is insane. The way
Greta Thunberg, you got the Kafifa and you're doing the flotilla to Gaza, meanwhile completely ignoring a widespread multi-year genocide happening in South Sudan.
Well,
genocide.
That's their fault because they're landlocked, so...
No flotilla.
Can't get the flotilla there.
Well, you could try those rivers, but they got the anacondas, and we all saw the Ice Cube movie. We know what goes on there.
Yeah, South Sudan is insane. For those that don't know, they like got their independence and then like 2 days later went into civil war. like
Probably by design, I imagine.
It's insane. Yeah.
So we're doing the contact tracing. Everyone's dying. This is widespread. They're blaming, you guessed it, Mike, the Doge Boys for this breaking out because they dismantled U.S. aid. Those big balls. This is all big balls' fault. When when the historians look back on the Ebola outbreak that wiped out humanity, they will blame big balls.
Big balls. Yeah. And Elon Musk, Hitler too. Did you see that thing with Dr. Drew?
No. Enlighten me, please. Yeah. Oh, I love Dr. Drew.
It was a controversy with Dr. Drew, and this is how you know this is bullshit. Because remember, they do this with everything that's bullshit.
Well, they hate Dr. Drew. So
Dr. Drew noticed that Hanta.
Yeah, the hantavirus, man.
So the hantavirus is out there, but Dr. Drew just noticed that the word Hanta in Hebrew is a slang term for like bullshit.
Wait. I didn't know Dr. Drew was a groiper. That's hilarious, man. Yeah, all right.
APEC. I don't know if 75% of our YouTubers. So all he did was mention that on one of the shows, and then it became this whole thing where Dr. Drew says hantavirus is bullshit. And all he was saying is that, isn't it interesting? And here's my thing, is all he literally said was, isn't it interesting that that's what that word is also a slang in Hebrew. They took it, you know what I mean? And the fact that they blew it up tells you everything you need to know. This is a psyop. Dude.
Yes.
It's a psyop. It's fake.
I totally agree with you on that one. Robert Redfield was out there. They're bringing out all the usual suspects. I think that it's total BS. I did a little perusing on the interwebs, just because whenever we have an outbreak or anything like this going on, what's your first question in your mind when we have an outbreak?
Where's Fauci?
Where's Fauci? Right? Yes.
Somebody goes missing. What was Hillary doing? Virus breaks out. Where's Fauci? You know.
Absolutely, man. No, so Fauci for you, for me, I'm always. So for me, I thought about this and I went to Grok and I said, "Hey, Grok, give me a breakdown on connections between Ebola and gain-of-function research." That's your Fauci angle, as well as any vaccines for Ebola related to Bill Gates or the Gates Foundation. And also just give me like a brief history on Ebola. And so Ebola first was recognized as an outbreak in 1976. Apparently, it broke out along the Ebola River. That's why it's called the Ebola virus. There were mostly rural, sporadic outbreaks from 1979 to 2013. All right.
Excuse me?
I already know. Dude, I already know where this is going.
2013, it's a very specific year in here. It's crazy to me, though. Why from 1979 to 2013, sporadic, mostly rural...
And if you need to read the book and decide for yourself.
Decide for yourself.
Yeah. I already know where it's going. Jesus
in 2013,
Christ.
In December 2013, in rural Guinea, a likely zoonotic spillover occurred and spread across borders into Liberia, Sierra Leone, and with urban transmission because of weak health systems. That's what they're claiming. There were close to 12,000 deaths actually during this 3-year period. They're claiming that what helped though was this new ring vaccination trial that they introduced into the community. Yeah, the real Anthony Fauci, people. You have to read it.
You have to read it. It's the playbook.
It is the playbook. So And then obviously now we have this new, it's called the Bundibugyo virus. That's the new version of it that's spreading right now. They're declaring it's a...
We were going to call it the Dashik virus. We thought it was a little too on the nose. Yeah.
So as per my question, which was, hey, what are the connections from Ebola and gain-of-function research? And it is documented that there was gain-of-function research done on mouse-adapted Ebola virus, the wild type, EBOV. We know who loves the wild type, Mike. Researchers used serial passage to create and adapted strains that were virulent in mice only. They're saying this is only in mice that these strains that they worked on. And this research was done to enable vaccine and therapeutic testing. And so... they're saying that there is no connection between the gain-of-function research that has been going on with the mice testing and this human-to-human version that has been going around.
God, come on, man.
Dude, it's unbelievable. And so clearly, yes, there is gain-of-function testing. I'm going to venture a guess, actually. In one of the 120 biolabs that Tulsi Gabbard revealed a week ago across the world, I bet you in one of those they're doing a gain-of-function test on Ebola virus. Guaranteed.
I'm going to go out on a limb and say we created the virus. Again, this is a virus that nothing else like it, right? Like I can almost see the years where Bill Gates got his funding. 1976, 1995.
Yes, no, dude, here's what's crazy. So I pumped this into AI, I pumped it into Grok, and I wanted to know the connection with Gates Foundation or Bill Gates specifically and vaccines to do with Ebola. Now, it goes in depth on the two main vaccines, which is Ervebo, which is by Merck, designed by Merck, and then another one called Zobdino, which is by Johnson & Johnson. These are two different vaccines that were created for Ebola. And then also that ring vaccine that I mentioned earlier. And I kept pushing Grok. I said, yeah, but tell me the link with Bill and Gates Foundation and these vaccines. And it refused to admit to me, but I eventually worked it out that those two vaccines are funded by WHO and Gavi.
Oh, God, of course.
And so I asked Grok, I said, okay, interesting. So the World Health Organization, and Gavi are the main financiers and funders for these two Ebola vaccines in Africa, okay? Who finances those two organizations? Who is the top three financiers of Gavi and WHO? And according to Grok, number one financer of WHO and Gavi, Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation.
Absolutely.
Number one provider of finances.
It's a great...
Number two, the United Kingdom. Folks, the royal monarchy, they are killing us. I'm telling you right now, these evil bastards are in. These are reptilians, man. And then number three.
That was only after Andrew visited Epstein Island and Bill Gates. and Bill Gates now had control over the monarch.
Number three, financial backing for Gavi and WHO, the two main financiers for Ebola vaccines in Africa, the United States. So the top three entities who finance...
But the United States, particularly the NIH,
CDC,
and
Dr. Fauci, yes.
was paid by Bill Gates.
Yes.
Through Gavi.
Yes.
Yes.
So we have gain-of-function involved with Ebola testing, and the main financial backing for the two vaccines being utilized in real time in Africa right now over the last 10 years, financed by Gavi and WHO, which is directly financed by Bill Gates. Bill Gates is killing you, people. If you get Ebola or alpha-gal syndrome or anything from a tick or a mosquito or a bug in general, it's from Bill Gates. I promise you, this guy paid for it. He's a eugenicist. He's trying to kill all of you, man.
And the scariest line in this book is Bill Gates says, everywhere I go in the world, Rockefeller was already there.
My God.
We've been poisoned.
Yes.
the early 1900s.
Oh, the Rockefellers for sure, and the Rothschilds. I think the Rothschilds, the Rockefellers, and it's a group of families.
I don't think you get to be a Rockefeller without the back. Like, we always joke about the CIA, but I truly believe it is the Rothschilds that they're the ones that decide who's going to be the billionaires.
For sure. Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Totally. Oh yeah, the gatekeepers.
The gatekeepers. Yes.
Totally.
That's
Tucker
why.
had...
Who was that? They all ripped on her. Was that AOC who said like you don't earn $1 billion?
Yes.
They all ripped on her. I don't think she articulated it well enough, but I think her point was very real.
I know what you're saying. Yes.
You get what I'm saying?
You don't earn that status in life.
I'm saying you could be Elon Musk, and without the approval of the gatekeepers, you're never making $1 billion. They won't let you live long enough.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? If you're
yes,
it's not going to happen.
Yeah, I absolutely. I think the gatekeepers determine. It's the people who wear the aprons and they do the sword and they do it's the Masons and the Illuminati, and then it keeps going up until the Bilderbergers, and you keep going to the...
That's always my problem with the AOC is like the real points she tries to make sometimes are spot on. She's just too dumb.
She's an actress. That's the problem.
You can't articulate the point. You know what I mean? Like, you had a great point. I get what you were saying, but the way you said it, everybody could just take it. You know what I mean?
For sure. And look, Bill Gates, Tony Fauci, these eugenicists and the New World Order, the World Economic Forum, all these evil people who are hell-bent on destroying us, they could very well get away with all the stuff that they've done. You and I talked about and laughed at the fact that Rand Paul's trying to get Fauci, and we don't think he'll ever go down in any of this stuff. And I fully agree with you on a lot of stuff, but I do want to throw out a silver lining and inspire people to be a little bit happy about something that may be leading to something else in the future. And this is out of Greece, of all places. I can't believe I'm saying it, but a landmark ruling out of Greece, where a court has ordered the state to pay 300,000 euro in compensation to a family of a woman who died after receiving the AstraZeneca COVID-19 vaccine.
Wow.
It's the first decision to hold the government liable because of the vaccine, which is
I like that.
This is huge. I think this is fantastic.
Fuck,
I think
you should go even further. It should come out of senators' paychecks.
Thank you. Yeah. Yes, absolutely. No, again, for me, go further. Whatever residual profits the Late Show with Stephen Colbert made after he did that video with the dancing needles, take that money and give it to the victims, dude. No, everybody. Jimmy Kimmel, all you shills, Joe Scarborough, all you pieces of shit who sold your soul on TV.
Gupta.
Yes, all of you. You all need to pay back to the victims who you convinced to take this poison, this gene therapy poison. So it's happening. It's starting now. I can't believe I'm saying it. We rip on them all the time, but Greece, hey, come on, brethren. I love it, man.
Guys.
The dirty Italians, right? The hairy Italians.
Our uncle calls the Greeks the Italians that couldn't swim. So they couldn't make it to the mainland.
Italians love ripping on the Greeks. I'm just saying. Great food, though. I love a good gyro,
I always say, nobody hates each other more than the people Americans can't tell apart. Greeks
We're simpatico, man.
Nobody can tell you apart. They hate each other.
It's us and the Albanians. We're kind of in the same group there.
Yeah, short, hairy men. Like,
very hairy forearms. It's a gross group of guys for sure. Very sweaty, very greasy, very hairy.
It's fantastic.
So it's crazy, but this woman, she suffered a vaccine-induced, and folks, bear with me on this. I don't have a college education, but I think I can hit it. Vaccine-induced immune thrombotic thrombocytopenia, a rare blood clot condition, and she had no prior health issues.
Wow,
so
sad.
The court recognized a direct link to the AstraZeneca vaccine. However, they did not hold AstraZeneca accountable or liable.
I'm actually not even like, I would love it if it was like everybody in Illinois who died, you get to sue the Pritzker family.
Yes, same here. Absolutely. The Bidens, anyone who mandated it. Anyone who mandated it. Yes. Absolutely.
Oh, your grandma died and she took it because she watched The View. Sue them all.
Whoopee. Absolutely.
All the Ingers, the station, everybody.
I mean, the guy that I worked for at the bar I worked at, I'll never forget the text message I got from him. Said, "Hey, we're going to reopen the bar finally after 2 years. Everybody come to the meeting with your vaccine card." And I literally flipped off the phone in real time and just said, "Fuck you, dude. I'll never work there again, man. You'll never see me in there ever again." But I even think that guy on some level forced someone to take that shot
100%.
and come back to work. He should be held responsible on some level,
100%.
honestly. Like, it's disgusting to me that people forced especially the party of my body, my choice, to walk around with your chest held high, forcing people to inject shit in their body. Yeah,
you're like the you know what I mean? There's nothing more fascist than like, you're a plague rat unless you get this card and show me your papers. Like,
well, dude, plague rat was right on par with what they were referring to the Jews back in during
that's
Hitler's
what I mean.
Germany,
literally, man. And they were literally talking about like, I don't want to. I'm not talking a concentration camp, but if we get a place where we can put the unvaccinated,
Yes, dude.
It's crazy.
It's crazy. So I just think that's really good news. We're heading in the right direction, I think, with that. Mike, do you want to close? You got another? You want to do one last thing? We got one last.
Yeah.
I mean, well, I thought there's a couple. There's like 2 things I got on the docket that can.
Well, first off, we never even mentioned Memorial Day. Gotta thank the
sir.
Fallen Brothers.
Yes,
for everything they give. I gotta tell you, it's so annoying to just all day, every day. On Memorial Day they talk about remembering those fallen, and
yes,
you're never gonna remember the names of those people and the faces. So don't even try to remember. Instead, fucking appreciate what you have. If you live in America right now, you are living in the greatest country in the greatest time in all of human history. If you are essentially you could be a loser in America and your life is better than everybody that lived in the past.
Yeah.
And appreciate that. I think we're the only country currently and in all of human history where nobody starves.
That's amazing.
We were the first country that looked around and said, you know what? Owning somebody as a slave probably isn't right.
Not a good idea.
We're the only country that ever won a war and looked around and said, you know what? We're not going to take your land. As a matter of fact, we're going to help you rebuild.
Yeah, you're right on the money, man.
We're fucking amazing.
Also, I mean, slavery just didn't seem fair considering it was a group of people who couldn't even find the DMV. Do you know what I'm saying? I mean, how could you enslave
took advantage
people?
Of somebody who didn't have a map. They couldn't
don't even know how to know where to go. You know what I'm saying? These poor people. How could you take advantage of them, man?
I don't think it's fair. A couple guys in the South got to enjoy slavery. Now we got to deal with the repercussions. No big deal.
Right.
But
yeah. No.
Just saying.
We're very fortunate. We live in a great place, and
it's the greatest time. Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you for all the members of our armed forces who sacrificed their lives, the greatest sacrifice of all time, in order for us to be here. I'm reading this book in honor of what came out this week. I bought it a while ago, and I have been sitting on it, and I decided to finally get down with it. It's right here, The Day After Roswell. It's written by a guy who allegedly had been tasked with the file of Roswell, and he had to basically disseminate the information to our tech companies here in America in order to get alien tech to our privatized corporate companies to advance it in order to give it back to the military and to fight our adversaries. That's the alleged concept of the book. In it, the reason I'm getting into it is because it's an alleged, like I said, alleged firsthand and collection of firsthand experiences of what happened on Roswell the night of. It's like for all the firsthand direct accounts, like the interviews with people, you know what I'm saying? So it's pretty interesting.
Like
actually.
That cop who
there's firefighters that were there. Like it's actually really fascinating. It's a cool read. It's and all this stuff. Who knows if it's real or not? Same thing with what was released. UFO Files Disclosure 2 Electric Boogaloo. What are we doing here, man? Come on, dude. Give me something good. But he does talk about in this book, because he's a colonel, I believe, if I understand, Colonel Philip Corso. He discusses kind of the state and mentality of our country post World War II. And I thought that was actually really fascinating, and how when we came into contact allegedly with alien technology, we were actually more concerned that it may have been Nazi technology that slipped into the hands of our adversaries during the Cold War. And so,
but then we just turned to our desk neighbor. Hey, Nazi, did you? Our co-workers in our federal government, and was this yours? Yeah.
Well, allegedly, he talks about how with the Operation Paperclip, where we took the Nazis and brought them over and all this stuff. When we brought them over, we realized how close the Nazis actually were to very advanced technology that would have potentially thrusted them into a level where they could win the war outright, and completely dominate our world. And he talks about in there very briefly the Battle of the Bulge, and how the Battle of the Bulge really changed the face of the war, and it was the moment we took kind of control. And if we hadn't have won the Battle of the Bulge and all the things that went on there, the Nazis could have actually ended up taking over the world. And now that we look at everything, maybe we sided with the wrong side, and that could have been a better thing for humanity, potentially. I don't know,
Or maybe we sided with the Nazis secretly.
Secretly, right?
I mean, we brought them into our government.
And I was just thinking about the Battle of the Bulge. And I was thinking, like,
101st, baby.
About the individual moments that happened for every guy on that platoon, and the battalion, and just, just the intense. I was thinking, so he talked about a moment where an admiral or one of the guys leading the battalions stripped off his stars and put on a helmet, and because no one would lead the charge up the hill. And no, it wasn't Pat. It was another guy. It was It was someone in another group it was in the different theater. And he stripped off the stars. They had to take a hill. He put on this other helmet, and he led the charge up and then brought the guys back down. And it was this spectacular moment. And this dude in the book had to work with this guy later on after the war. And he's like, crazy. When I went to work with him, he's like, I was in awe of this guy. He was a hero. He was a legend, And I was just thinking, like, what an insane story in the Battle of the Bulge, like, that nobody ever knows about. They never made a Saving Private Ryan movie about it. You know what I'm saying? It was just this moment that there's like a handful of dudes out there that remember the details of that moment where this guy carried the boat, bro. You know what I'm saying? He went and he just decided, fuck it, I don't care about my rank. I'm leading the charge because I'm the leader, and I'm going to die probably, but I'm going to do this. And I was just thinking, like, do we have any dudes like that amongst us now in the modern age? Like, I don't work with any guys like this anymore. I'm the guy carrying the boat now. And I would never be that guy ripping off the stars, charging up the mountain. You know what I'm saying? Like, but I was just thinking, like, who are these guys, these average dudes?
I think everybody, for better or worse, is surprised when thrown into those situations.
That's where my head was going, which was, who are these average dudes thrust into this moment where they never imagined? And you don't, who are you in that moment? It's amazing. And for some reason, that admiral, that guy leading that platoon, something came over him, ripped off his badges, you know what I'm saying? And became part of.
There's a great video of that dinner that the guy tried to shoot Trump.
Right.
Did you see that from the lobby?
I did see the video, yes.
And there's like 3 cops who all take cover and run away.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't notice that detail. Yeah.
Yeah. There's this video where it's like, and you see, and it's like the difference between. It's just the differences between, they're like regular cops, and then you have the federal agents. This guy comes running in with a shotgun, and he shoots one of the federal agents, and these 3 cops like take cover, and they run, and like they're just saving themselves. But the minute that round went off, the federal agents just turn, go towards the gunfire, and pull out their guns. And then
crazy.
You even see these guys run in from another room, and like that is the thing. Is like there's it's
the measure of a man. I always wonder, like, You don't know unless you're in that moment. Did you see the video? It was viral a couple weeks ago. It was the principal of that one school where the shooter comes in.
Video,
and he just walks up and gets shot and disarms the guy. And it's like, that guy was some frumpy principal in a school. There's no way he ever, you know what I'm saying?
And he didn't even think.
That's what I'm saying.
That's the thing. Is there's no
instinct.
You don't know how you're gonna. Every guy thinks they're gonna tackle the shooter.
That's what yes,
you know
dude.
What I mean, but
the hero complex.
When the bullets start firing, most people, self-preservation is a very, very powerful instinct.
I believe it, man. Absolutely. It's amazing when you think about that stuff. And so I've been thinking about the army, the military service, dedicating yourself, sacrificing your life, and what that means, and how you could do stuff like that, and then eventually work your way up the ranks, like in this book I'm reading, and then he ends up being a desk guy and stumbles onto this top secret stuff and all this stuff. But eventually, you survive, Mike. You may have been a hero, but then you find yourself out there on Fox News eventually, and you're just talking about the war in Iran, and a little funky shadow plays out in your neck, and everyone's like, oh, the guy's wearing a fucking mask, man. He's wearing a mask.
It does look weird.
Did you watch this clip that went viral everywhere? Come on, dude. Did you think of me when this came out? Because I've been talking about this ever since tall Biden. We all remember the 6'9" Joe Biden that came out after the debate, dude.
Daddy Longlegs Biden.
Daddy Longlegs Biden, man. I'm telling you. So I'm a huge fan of the whole idea that the CIA or our secret services and the deep state, they rock very hyper-realistic face masks, just like you saw back in the Mission Impossible movies and all that stuff, where Tom Cruise rips off the mask and it's Tom Cruise behind it. So here we got a little clip. This was going viral. Everyone was obsessed with it. It's this admiral who is interviewed on Fox News, and the dialogue's not important. What's important is the neck. There's a very strange crease going on at the neck where it looks like there's a mask disconnecting from the skin. Mike, what say you, sir? Mask or no mask, my man?
Camera, the lighting. You got to remember the lighting on these places,
dude. But it's slit.
I know, but he's an old man. He's probably got wrinkles. You know what I mean? And it's probably just a wrinkly neck on weird lighting.
It's straight out of Beetlejuice, the original, where the lady is smoking through the neck.
Through the whole, I know, but it could just be a shadow. And look at this guy. Like, you don't think they'd pick a better mask? It looks like a mask. His face looks like a mask. You know what I mean? With the no hair, no eyebrows.
I think he's rocking a mask, man. I think this is mask technology. Yeah, I'm a big fan of the whole mask idea. I love it, man. You got to sell some propaganda. Put the mask on our actor. We'll let him go out there and pretend to be Admiral such and such.
Yeah, you just pick this mask. Like, nobody would be able to verify whether it's, you know what I mean? Nobody knows who this guy is. You can put anybody out there.
If you got mask technology, though, wouldn't you be using it left and right at all times? I mean, I would be all about mask technology. Like, I think Trump sends a lot of mask Trumps out there.
You think so? I don't think so. I think he's too narcissistic.
They made this whole stink about him not going to the wedding, and then he was on the convoy heading back to D.C. I think he actually went to the wedding.
Yeah, probably.
I think he went to the wedding. Only because, dude, he went back to the White House, and then some shooter showed up, started blasting away at the White House for no reason yesterday.
Yeah, he probably went to the...
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, you bring the fake Trump to the White House, you stage your fourth assassination attempt, right? So you get everyone talking about how Trump's at the White House, but really he's hobnobbing it and rubbing elbows at the Don Jr. wedding. By the way, Don Jr., who's he? Is he married the fourth time? Who's this?
Yeah, who's this? I thought he was married to Gavin Newsom's wife.
The Guilfoyle.
Yeah.
Right?
What
no, this is a different chick.
Yeah, what happened to that one? Already gone, and now we
already gone, dude. These people in DC are slimy, slithering snakes, dude. Disgusting creatures, man. Unbelievable.
I don't trust any of them.
Right. So you're not down with the mask. You're no mask guy. I'm pro mask. I think it's a mask. And we're both saying it was a big nothing burger with the UFO release, right? We're both on nothing burger.
I mean, the biggest thing you had to talk about was this guy's alleged mask. I would say the UFO files. Wah, wah, wah. All we got is a mask.
I don't like it only because they're only showing us stuff you and I have talked about years ago. We've already seen a lot. It's the same stuff. Well, here, actually, do you know what I think they're doing with the UFO stuff? Actually, I believe that they're slow dripping the stuff all the conspiracy nut jobs know about. And this is so the boomers can get on board. I think.
Maybe.
I think they're slowly getting the boomers on board, and because the boomers didn't believe this stuff until they hear Dave Muir talk about it on World News Tonight. So now that Dave Muir's talked about it on World News Tonight, oh my God, we have aliens out there. So it's a slow drip. They're going to slow drip
it. We just need the boomers to die. I believe like what and here's the thing, it's like I don't want you to die, but you guys refuse to give up power, so we have to have you die. I was watching this thing on World War I, and it's like the similarities when you start talking about like really one of the reasons World War I happened was just because we had so many world leaders that were like 70, 80 years old, and they were all trying to make a legacy,
to maintain power and control.
They cared more about their legacy than anything else. And
right on.
You know,
I do subscribe. For World War I and World War II, I subscribe to the Rothschild theory of New World realignment, and I believe that this family has been behind world realignments for centuries.
You see that guy Tucker had on? I had to listen to it.
I did. Yes,
because he talked about how the banks were the cause of all the wars, and he talked about the Lusitania, how it was actually a warship.
Yeah,
that we put civilians on
purpose to start the war.
Yeah.
All of our wars.
And the Germans put warnings in U.S. papers not to go on to the Lusitania. That they warned us.
Absolutely. Dude, Pearl Harbor, we knew Pearl Harbor was coming. We let it happen. And you can go down the route, and I have, and I'm down with it, that our government with the Israelis were behind the planning and plotting of 9/11, or you could go down the Pearl Harbor route, which is we got the intel and the info that it was happening, and we let it happen because it was convenient for our interests.
We just planned how we were going to use it to our advantage.
Our plan was how to react, and we said, "Oh, we're going to bomb Iraq." Actually, you put whoever you want on those planes.
How many can we bomb? Because I got 7. Can we get 7?
And 25 years later, here we are. We got the 7th. It's amazing, dude. It's all about that long game, man, right? That's how it works, dude.
We're the fools.
Unbelievable, man. Well, but we're the fools, and we live on the Death Star, so enjoy the ride. Speaking of which, Star Wars major bomb this week with Mandalorian and Grogu.
Dude, of course it was. When are you guys going to learn?
Stop making this
crap. Go back to that picture of the Colbert Show. Get all these women.
Yeah.
Dude, your Star Wars writer room should smell like BO, and it should be nothing but obese men, you know? Just like the nerdiest fat dudes.
Yeah, it should literally smell like Taco Bell delivery and just and BO.
Yeah,
that's
BO.
it.
Yeah. It should smell like grown men who live their whole life on Code Red, Mountain Dew.
Dude, you're like, I was just about to say, there should be the sweet smell of Code Red Mountain Dew in the air.
We're both envisioning the same room. That's like we know what room you would need for a good Star Wars.
Oh man. Well, Mike, I think we covered most of it. I don't want to keep you too late. Did we get it all? I think we got it all. Yeah. I didn't cover the anti-weaponization fund, which I do think is pretty interesting. Sort of only on the side of the left now reacting to it and being like, well, it's insane that you're going to defend these rioters, but not on any level can you compare the rioting of Jan 6th to the rioting of the Summer of Love with BLM. Like, those aren't the same riots, right?
We didn't even talk about how the FBI now admitted that they had 26 informants that broke into the Capitol.
I had the clip from Jesse Waters. I thought it was an old clip, though. I thought that came out a while back.
Can we admit, though, it's a one-way street? You went from 0 people that work for the FBI to maybe some informants to now we had informants and agents, but they didn't go in, to now we have informants and agents who were working for the FBI that went into the Capitol building.
This is not old news though, because we talked about how it was a third. They calculated a third of the crowd was FBI agents.
Right, but now remember before they were saying none of them went into the building. None of them broke any laws or went into the building. Now they're saying they're admitting that 26 were actively on the payroll. They were working for the FBI there, and they went into the building.
Of the 26, 4 entered the Capitol during the riot. 13 more entered restricted areas, and 9 stayed out of the... Wow. Holy cow, you're right. So they had actual FBI informants entering the building.
This is a one-way street, though, right?
Yes, it keeps going down that route.
Yeah. In 10 years, they're going to be like, listen, this was wholly orchestrated by the FBI. Like, you know...
Dude, in 10 years, I can't wait for the Netflix special, Nick Fuentes, FBI informant. It's going to be an incredible show.
Well, I was going to say, the best part is most of the people on the left aren't even calling it insurrection anymore. They're calling it an armed riot.
Dude, this is crazy. So 26 agents were paid informants, paid agents, paid.
Yes.
That's
so
26.
They were being paid to be there.
Paid. No, that's paid agents. 26. That's on top of 275 plainclothes agents present at the Capitol during the... That's on top of that, dude! Holy cow, man!
This is the Gretchen Whitmer case, dude.
Yes.
200 officers stormed the Capitol, and then they turned around at the 4 guys that were with them and said, "You're under arrest."
Holy cow, man. And still, Nick Fuentes, no charges. Ray Epps, no charges. Nothing. It's unbelievable, dude. Just a farmer, dude. Nick Fuentes is just a kid from Chicago with a megaphone telling people to storm the Capitol. He didn't do anything wrong,
Speaking
man.
his truth, you know.
And then he just got an anonymous $250,000 donation via Bitcoin from someone from France. Okay,
probably the SPLC.
Wow, that one.
Buried,
bro. Holy cow, dude. Yes.
Our parents, like,
holy cow.
They turned into Dr. Fauci with natural immunity. They never heard of it.
Well, everyone talks about USA. They even brought it up with this shit with Ebola, but no one talks about SPLC, dude. That's so crazy, dude. Holy cow.
Frank. I don't even know what you're talking about. SPLC.
I can't even spell it. Oh, man, unbelievable.
It's terrible.
Well, Mike, I think we rocked it. We covered it all. Good stuff. Folks, thanks for tuning in, enjoying the good times, great oldies. Happy Memorial Day. I do it every year on Veterans Day to Mike.
Decide for yourself.
Decide for yourself on what's going on. Folks, Ebola, gain of function, and the only people producing the vaccines are paid for by the Gates Foundation. Just keep that in mind as this plays out. Okay?
Literally is a Hebrew word for bullshit. So...
But we are not anti-Semites on the show. We accept shekels and silver here. Jenkoya, matzo ball.
Matzo ball. Shalom.
Shalom. And to our current Chinese overlords, or our future Chinese overlords, Nagasaki, Hiroshima, we love you as well. We accept your yen. Folks, thanks again. We'll see you here next Sunday. Same time, same place. DJ Rodfather going to play us out. Yeah, man.
Keep that nickel back.
We'll see you next time.
3/4.
Show me what it's like. The last one scanned and teach me wrong from right. And I'll show you what I can be. Say it for me, say it to me. And I'll leave this life behind me. Say it if it's worth saving me. Heaven's gates won't open up for me. These city walls ain't got no love for me. I'm on the ledge of the 18th story. Oh, I scream for you. Come, please, I'm coming home.